excited.
Hello, family and friends. Welcome to another Talks with Lim Lee. I'm your host. I'm Lim. I am a software engineer, and today my sidekick is
Emmett Morgan, Las Vegas realtor. Today I hate cancer. If you can see, if you're listening only on Spotify, we like Spotify the best. Joe Rogan's number 2 now.
yes.
If you can see me on YouTube, I have a Puck Cancer T-shirt on because I support anti-cancer
And hockey.
I anti-support cancer. Anyway, we have a fantastic podcast today. We are talking to an extraordinary young lady in France. Her name is Rashni. Rashni, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
So my name is Rashni Helewa. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, and a life coach that specializes in mental health.
Fantastic.
Awesome. And you also have a book on Amazon called
Catherine's...
Unveiling the Truth Behind Catherine's Destiny.
Yep.
I have a podcast called TAO Podcast, The Pandemic Press. My site is www.taoac.net.
Sweet. We'll put links below so you can check all those out. Yeah.
Yep. And we spent 3 hours talking about Sri Lanka, Romania. You spent 3 to 4 years going to medicine school.
Yeah.
Medical school
In Romania, and then now you're living in France, and we talk about the cultures, politics,
Fixing politics,
even in the U.S., and that seems to be Rashni's favorite topic is the U.S. politics. We talk about that a bit.
Yeah.
wearing pants at nightclubs.
Yeah. All right, audience, stay tuned for that.
Coming in hot.
Cut. So your medical degree, or your medical studies or degree? Do you have a medical degree? Studies?
No, because I got a scholarship, and I was studying for like 3 years when it's like a 6-year course. And in the last year, you get your license and stuff like this. So the thing is, I decided to switch because I decided in my life, because I was raised in a very strict culture, I thought freedom was more important to me than anything else.
Whoa.
And because the thing is, like, it's so hard. Like, I mean, like, you think when you come from strict cultures, you think that, oh my God, medicine is such a good career to be in. And then you think that, oh my God, but what if I give up? Like, this is, it won't be, what if, who, like my relations, what they're going to say to me, what they're going to, it's like this, all this pressure involved.
You got to carry the shame of your whole family.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's kind of like that, because everybody was like, all my relations were kind of like astounded ever since I got a scholarship to medicine. I mean, who gets that? It's like, actually it requires so much of hard work, determination, and commitment to actually get into a really hard course. Did you know that medicine is like the second most hardest course in the world? And the first is like engineering, because it's like pure math.
Right. So being a doctor, you have to deal with people, which is even harder than math.
Yeah. But I don't know why that they made engineering the most hardest subject in the world.
Well, like, I mean, you got to be good with math if you're going to make the building and the bridge stay up, right? If you want the airplane to stay in the air, you got to get the math down. So you're in Sri Lanka. So that's where she's from.
Sri Lankan.
Oh, you're not currently in? Okay.
No, I'm in France. I'm currently in France.
Okay. Gotcha. How's your experience in France been coming from Sri Lanka to France? Is that a big culture shock, or?
Yeah, it is, because like we're kind of like the opposite.
Oh.
We're the complete opposite of them.
Like you hate croissants?
No, I like to merge. I like to merge with the cultures. I kind of like it. I think that it's kind of cool for me to kind of have a different perspective in life. And I'm kind of friendly with everybody, so I kind of like talking, their language, learning or stuff about their culture, their food. And those type of things really interest me especially when I meet someone new from a different country. Those are the things that come into mind.
Yeah. It's a good thing our Uncle Bob isn't here. He would flirt with you in French. He knows just enough French to be inappropriately flirty.
Is the French culture pretty flirty? Have you experienced that?
Yeah, but they're so nice. I mean, like even when you're walking down the street, random people just come to me and say that because of my skin, because I'm like really tan, they say that you're
Yeah.
really beautiful. And then I take the compliment and I say, you're beautiful too, you're good looking.
Wait, does that lead to something else, or are people just genuinely like, "Hey, you look great today"?
Or do
Yeah,
you,
just randomly, and they just say bye afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I never get that.
You're not a woman.
I got to go to France.
Do you happen to see guys get compliments over there more often? That's probably a tough question.
Maybe it happens the other way around, but like I'm a female, so it happens quite often, especially when I'm walking down the street.
Yeah.
Like in Sri Lanka, like women can't actually walk down the street. They've been like men are kind of hooting around, so we don't actually walk on the streets.
Yeah.
We have to always take a vehicle, and there's so much of disrespect and catcalling back at home.
Yeah.
So when I'm here, it's like it's a free world. You know, I can go anywhere I want. I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of that in the U.S., but it is still. I hear women will get catcalled or whistled at on the street. You know, if, like we have a friend that goes jogging, right? And so she's not wearing a lot of clothes because it's hot out here, and she's jogging. But there is a negative attention that she doesn't want. I mean, it's positive attention. It's attention she doesn't want. Yeah. She just wants to exercise, right?
Yes.
So
yeah, even like back in Romania when I was doing med school during the summer, like I would go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I really don't like, you know, when some men, like when you're exercising, they like to see you watch you exercise, which is kind of weird. So I really go to the other side. Like I used to go to the other side of the gym. Like
it's not our fault that you're so sexy in the gym.
because there's
you're wearing spandex, goddammit.
Yeah. There's a big room. The gym is a big room. So from one corner, I go to the other corner to do the exercises. Because
You're not alone in that. The gym that I go to does have a separate women's section that it's not that women can go in there if they want to be separate. If they want to feel unwatched, they can go. There's like an extra room that's a women's only zone. So I don't know how I feel about that. It's a weird. I mean, it's addressing exactly that thing, right? It's trying to solve that discomfort.
I imagine
it's a lot of discomfort, especially when you're doing squats. Like I definitely want to go to the other side of the room.
That's the dirty move. Sorry, what were you saying?
No. Well, no. I just imagine you probably didn't explain your thoughts on it, but you probably understand you understand other women want their privacy, and you understand they feel that way and that they could have their own room, but yet by building that room, probably the part where you're saying you don't understand it is it creates a segregation that doesn't fix the original problem.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a great way to put it. Yeah. You have expanded my thoughts. I mean, I'm the nicest guy in the world, but if a beautiful woman is working out, like I can't not notice. You know, like men we're born, our brains are programmed.
I understand how like the science works and stuff like this, and the thing
but you're still a pig.
Psychology, but I'm still like embarrassed, you know, because I come from like a culture where you know, women do feel that kind of embarrassment, shame, and like when I came to the Western world, I became comfortable with a lot of things actually. And now, like, I can like treat like boys like really good friends and kind of like cuddle them and stuff like this. But back at home, I used to be super shy, like super shy for the slightest thing. But I'm still getting used to the gym and like how to work out in the gym.
Wait, are you saying you have cuddle friends or are these romantic interests?
No, these are like friends, like good buddies. Because I'm like a tomboy, like some of the time. So most of my friends are actually boys.
Do those boys cuddle each other?
No, not that much.
Well, then that means that they're cuddling with you is not just friends mathematically.
No,
it's not an equal, right?
I think it's just friends.
What if it was just friends? They would cuddle their other friends also, not just their very attractive female friends. Isn't that logically?
I could see it going. I could see where you're going with that train of thought, and I think most. How do I word it? I think most guys are.
I love Liem, but I never cuddle with him.
Well, I mean, look at the Vietnamese culture. When you went to Vietnam, you see guy friends kind of close to each other, like an arm over the shoulder, or like sitting next to each other where the leg is on each other.
Yeah. So I think that's normal. Yeah, that's normal.
In America, that doesn't. There's a very macho, masculine thing with that.
Yeah, but Rashni's saying that there's not an equality. Like the same friends that are cuddling her are not cuddling each other.
No, it's like not that much, I don't see that often because I think they have to keep the, this kind of idea that men shouldn't do that all the time. They have this kind of psychological idea because society kind of implemented that to them at a very young age.
Yeah. I'm all for more cuddling in the world. Would be a happier place, right? You need international cuddling. Sorry, go ahead.
I made friends with a lot of gay people as well. I mean, they're so open and they're like, I don't know, I feel like more drawn to them. Yeah.
Wait, do gay men cuddle you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So cool.
With the catcalling, I was thinking about, do you think from like I don't know, at a high level, do you think different cultures that are more repressive to women? So like in Sri Lanka, if there's catcalling in Sri Lanka, and then I'm assuming you're saying there's less catcalling in France?
That's all compliments.
Yeah, there nobody has done it so far. So I've lived here for like almost 3 years now.
So as a culture gets more, I don't know if I want to say mature or more
different.
Yeah. Then
or do you mean more equality?
Yeah. More
I think that's where I'm kind of going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a lesson the U.S. could learn because we don't catcall or harass on the street as much as we used to, from what I can tell historically. Like if you went back to the 70s, it'd be much more common and expected. Like they always talk about slapping the waitress on the ass, kind of behavior, right? And then
good old days.
Yeah. So over the decades, we've kind of, gotten rid of a lot of those behaviors. But I tell you what, if we could go right to complimenting each other, that'd be, well, see, I don't know. Americans are weird. If you go compliment a beautiful woman in America, she's still going to have the same repulsive reaction unless you're a super attractive dude. So you can't just be a nerd and go complimenting people because you'll still get the same rejection. It's seen almost as a romantic approach.
I think you're throwing a lot of truth in there that this conversation hasn't reached yet.
Yeah.
As in,
this is very U.S. based.
Yeah. It's like I understand that because the majority of people are over judgmental because it's easier to judge than to think.
Yeah.
To actually think about it.
Yeah, like if I was really good looking, I could get away with anything, really. You can do whatever the hell you want if you're good looking enough.
Yeah. I had a friend that was a big black guy, and he would say to me and his close friends like, "Hey, watch my." He was adopted. He has a white brother, and his white brother is fairly attractive, and he would say things like to his close friends like, "Hey, watch me do the same thing my white brother just did." And then the way people react, they would treat he was a I don't want to
like overweight big or like physically big frame,
obese, fat. And then, but also he had I don't know if it was a skin, it was like a big blotch on his face here too. Just
discoloration.
Yeah. I mean, nothing he could do about it, but he's a super kind person, awesome person to have a conversation and to understand empathy and emotions for me and him to go back and forth.
Yeah.
But for him to be able to look at what his white brother's able to do and what he can't do and how people look at him versus his white brother, it was pretty sad to see that when you said that being a tall person or attractive person, you could get away with a lot more. It made me think about that.
Yeah. Would you cuddle him?
Not in America.
We have to go to France before we can cuddle. Sorry, we've gone way off the rails, Rashni. have we kept you from saying something you wanted to say?
No, it's like I think that everybody should be more understanding because the thing is that I haven't received that sort of feedback when I was back in Sri Lanka. It's like whenever people used to do something weird, they quickly judged them and kind of bullied them, and I kind of am against that because I've been bullied too. At a really young age, so I kind of like I don't like it when like people overjudge people just for like silly things like hugging and just trying to be friendly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, your English is really good. Are you speaking in 3 languages? Are you fluent in 3?
So like I speak Sinhalese. I learned a bit of Romanian while I was in Romania studying medicine.
Yeah.
And I have learned French ever since I was like 8 years old. So I chose French because that was way more easier than my mother tongue as well, because I felt like, okay, French
Wait,
is
you're saying French is easier than your home language?
Yeah, because it's Sinhalese and we don't use like English letters. It's like a completely different alphabet.
Oh, is English the primary language in Sri Lanka?
Yes, we prefer English because English is more easier than our language.
Yeah.
It's like we learn our language, but we learn it as not so much like the literature part. We just learn it so we can talk with other people.
Oh, so you can tell secrets.
Yeah.
If it was up to you, would you have all of Sri Lanka just speak English and not worry with the historical language, or what would if you could choose?
Yeah, but we would actually take a bit of Sinhalese because it comes in handy, especially when you're talking with foreigners and you need to tell something like a secret or something. And saying, okay, don't say that part, and then you kind of tell it in your mother tongue, and then the foreigner doesn't understand it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, the rumors are true.
Tell me some Sri Lankan culture, things that are quite different than what you experience in France or what most people may not even know about Sri Lanka.
A lot of people actually didn't know where was Sri Lanka located until in 2019. We were like the top holiday destinations.
Really?
In the world.
Is Sri Lanka near India? Is that correct?
Yeah, south of India.
South of India. Is it like an island nation?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not too far
Very
off.
separate. Yeah, separate from India. And like, a lot of our citizens really hate it when the Western world compares Indians and Sri Lankans. We're like, oh, come on, we're different people.
I am not Indian. Oh, that's racist.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's like there's so many memes all over the internet. It's like when the Sri Lankan goes to a Western girl or guy, and then they start talking with them, and then they start by saying, "Are you Indian?" because of our tan complexion, and then we are like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
Yeah. What's some differences between what are the big differences between Sri Lanka and India in cultural terms then?
Yeah, it's like we have similar cultures, I would tell you, but we have a different accent. And the thing is that we don't have the same problems India has. It's like completely different because it's an island we're talking about. And we have like if you have actually listened to my podcast, we have an episode dedicated to Sri Lanka and what's the problems it's facing currently and the opportunities it has in the future.
Oh.
So like one of our best ways of earning is tourism actually, and that was completely cut during the pandemic.
COVID times.
Yes.
And feel free to plug either your podcast or anything that you in your book as we talk for the next 2.5 hours. Yeah. Feel free to mention it as much as you want.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to watch your podcast on Sri Lankan problems.
Yeah, TAO Podcast : the Pandemic Press.
It's called Pandemic Press?
TAO Podcast, the Pandemic Press. It's available on any device.
Gotcha. We'll do a link at the.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
TAO podcast.
Nice. Wait, what does TAO mean? Is that a Sri Lankan word?
No, it's I got it from like it's actually a Chinese word that's recreation of the universe.
Oh. Wait, are Sri Lankans pro-Chinese?
No, but yeah, but we support like.
I love the disappointment in your voice when you said that.
But we think of China as one of the best countries because they have helped like our island so much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if they actually lend out passports, or maybe there was a joke that one of my friends said that even if we had to mate with the Chinese, it would be way better than carrying our own passport, because we have to because one of the only things we have is that we need to travel to every country. We need a visa.
Yeah.
Almost every country. Huh. So he was like, getting married to a Chinese, getting a Chinese passport is even better,
So you would marry a Chinese guy for great travel benefits?
Yeah.
Nice.
So the Chinese passport, in essence, you're saying is more powerful than the Sri Lankan passport.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't even know. The Chinese passport can get to many countries without the need for a visa? I did not know that.
Yes, it's like more countries because like if you take Sri Lanka, it's like our passport is completely worthless. To tell you the truth, yes.
Well, I mean, if Sri Lanka is a big travel destination, I think that will start to change, because Sri Lanka, if you're saying, hey, all these Americans are coming to visit as tourists, that gives you some leverage to say, hey, you should give us some reciprocity, right?
Yes.
I
think that's fair enough, because like we actually need that.
Yeah. You talk to your president and have him knock that one out with Biden.
Do you think the future of Sri Lanka in the sense of the government and geopolitical stuff, like is it getting better, or is there things that you see that it's getting worse?
The thing is that there's a huge situation that I want to like sum it up first that happened in the past few years. It's like we had a president, okay, and what he did was he was actually very power hungry, and he kind of like made our country evolve from an LIC to an MIC, medium income country. So from a low income country to a medium income country. But the thing is that he also stole money from the country's treasury, and sent it to some of the banks in Dubai. And what was kind of weird is that he ruled like overtime as president, and then he was kicked out, and he had hired someone to kill somebody, and all these situations. And then what happened is like his brother was the next president, and then he became prime minister now, and we have even more stricter bank policies as a result. So in that way, I think that we need more younger people to rule. I think because one family is kind of ruling the entire island.
Ah, I see. Is it because of a royal heritage or of a power and money situation?
Power and money.
Okay.
And feel free, if any of the questions that we ask are answered on your podcast, go ahead and just say refer to my podcast.
You reference can refer episode 3. You can refer to the podcast for business ideas and like things that you can invest on in Sri Lanka, because we are actually looking towards actually expanding on the internet side, because we never had that kind of privilege like before the pandemic. Even our education system was like really competitive, because we were colonized by Britain, so like we follow the British syllabus, and I followed it, and I would say it's really tough, because like they expect us to have like really high grades when we're going to university, It's
Mhm.
like, especially you get into a UK university or in the US, you have to have the best grades.
Yeah.
And that goes for like any other subject. Like medicine is already hard, so I would say yes, 4 A's.
Yeah.
And for business, it was like you had to at least have 2 A's as 2 A's also.
So do you have an incredibly good memory, or are you just studying harder than all of your peers?
I study harder, and I have a I can like I'm 26 years now, going to be 27, so I kind of remember
Yeah.
things I learned like 10 years back.
Yeah.
It's kind of glued in my head. Like I remember everything I've studied, and I also remember everything that took place. And when I tell my friends, it's like you have a
Yeah.
good memory because this happened over 10 years ago.
Oh, so you have an
Yeah.
awesome memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the fuck I did last week. That's fantastic. You'd be a perfect doctor.
But
Sorry,
I
I'm
chose
kidding.
freedom. Yeah, I chose freedom.
I choose freedom. Wait, are you going to stay in France, or what's your plan now? Or should we just keep talking about Sri Lanka?
Don't.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
down with whatever.
Yeah, so like in like what I can tell you in every stage, like what happened in Sri Lanka, what happened in Romania, what happened in France.
Oh yeah, walk us through your life. So you're in Sri Lanka, you're getting great grades, and then they go, "Hey, we can send you to medical school with a scholarship because you're such a great student, right?"
Yeah, and
And-
like I got a scholarship to actually Romania because it's actually so much harder to get a scholarship to UK. They weren't giving any scholarships for the medicine,
Right.
especially even in USA and Australia, the competition was really tough.
Yeah.
So, and nobody was actually aiming for Europe because, like Sri Lankans like to study in English,
Mm-hmm.
so they never thought that it was possible to actually go to a European country and study in English.
Mm.
Yeah, so their main targets were USA, UK, Australia, or if not, stay back in Sri Lanka.
I see.
Those were the most populous choices.
Yeah.
So not many were actually aiming for Europe. So that's why I kind of aim for Europe.
So you were able to study in English in Romania?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish you could visit. I wish your passport was better because we have some Romanian friends here in Las Vegas, so it would be
That's
cool to
cool.
connect you with them. Yeah.
Yeah, even here I have found some Romanians as well.
Yeah. They get around, the Romanians. All right. So how long were you in Romania?
So I was there for like 3 to 4 years because
Yeah.
I studied their language for 1 year, and then the rest of the 3 years I was studying medicine in English.
Yeah. And then what did you think of Romania? Did you enjoy it? Was it strange or?
It's like I think it made me like really strong because I came from a culture like I was kind of like not a part of this social circle because I have like really strict parents, and they asked me to like focus on my studies. So
Mhm.
like I didn't go out much, and kind of wasn't allowed to have boyfriends either.
Mm.
Engage in any other relationship. So it was like I was constantly surrounded by family, like
Yeah.
most of my life. So then like I was like working so hard like for my scholarship and stuff, and then I got it, and then I got a chance to actually live alone for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like that was the best year of my life.
Because you discovered independence.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like everybody in my family was telling that I'm not ready because I've been raised with my family for every single thing. But the
Yeah.
thing is that I have also been with my like mother because my parents kind of got married really young, and my
Mhm.
dad when my mom gave birth to me was a year after they got married, and my dad wasn't ready to be a father at the time.
Mm.
So yeah, it's like he was like I could remember I was like 3 years old, and I could remember he used to come late night every Friday, Saturday, Sunday because he's in the club, he's drinking, and he's enjoying himself.
It's party
And then-
time.
Yeah, he was behaving like a kid,
Yeah.
and yeah, so like I would be there with my mom, like and I kind of like was with my mom most of the time,
Yeah.
and my grandparents as well. So then when I decided to go abroad, like all my relatives were like, I'm not ready. But I said, I am ready. I know I'm ready to go and live alone by myself. So like I wasn't like everybody said that everybody kind of presumed or I was the rich kid
Oh.
because I went to one of the best schools in my home country, and like people thought that since I was like well brought up, I was like too kind of stubborn, didn't know what gratefulness was, and I was like, no, it's not like that. It's like I am grateful for my life. It's just that I was brought up in a very strict culture,
Yeah.
and they kind of didn't know it. It's because like I didn't tell any of the situations that took place.
Wait, you're
And so,
beautiful and
yeah,
rich, but you're not spoiled.
yeah. Yeah,
Perfect.
it's like yeah, it's I would consider myself to be rich,
Yeah.
but like yeah, because there are times where like my dad tries his best to actually provide the financial provide for me financially to go to the best schools.
Yeah.
And I think he does that because he wants the best for me. It's
Yeah.
like it's not really my choice to go to the best school. You know, he does
Mhm.
it because even if he has to pay through his nose, like that's his kind of like dedication he throws at me because he thinks that I deserve it because I'm his daughter.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we don't have control of the situation most of
Yeah.
the time. It's like if my dad thinks that I need to go to the best school, he puts me there.
Yeah.
You don't control anything.
Earlier, when you mentioned you chose freedom, is it more freedom from your parents or freedom from Sri Lankan culture or freedom from Sri Lankan government? What were your...
I think it's everything because it's to do with because we don't have gender equality. The males are like in a much higher position than us. They have more. Even their money for each job is not equal, and it's like I don't know. Like men in Sri Lanka, kind of. They do not like when a woman kind of leads, and they're not kind of used to that. So I would tell that's kind of like toxic masculinity.
Sure.
So yeah, it's like even my dad has that sort of mindset because it's the culture they were brought up in, and women can be leaders.
Yeah.
Even I think I'm born to be a leader, and I'm born to like do my own thing.
Yeah.
Which after so many conversations, I am trying to get him to see the other side. I'm still trying to get him to see the other side, but like
Well, you guys see it from
one
dad's
day,
perspective,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So one day he will accept it, and I'm waiting for that day.
No, he's saying, look, I did everything I could. I sent her to the best schools, and she got exposed to these damn Western ideas, and now she wants to be a hippie.
No, it's not exactly a hippie or anything. It's like I want to be.
She's
I want
betrayed
to be,
her home culture.
yeah, I want to be educated, but I also want to like spend my own money for my education background. It's
Yeah.
like I'm always depending on them,
Yeah.
and that's not right.
With the
I had
Scott...
to- yeah,
Oh,
because
sorry.
this is after the scholarship.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was like before, this was after the scholarship, and before when I was in the international school, like my dad had to pay a lot
Yeah.
in there. So it's like this was before my life in Sri Lanka and my life in France, because he put me to one of the best business schools in France.
Yeah.
And that was so expensive, and I asked him not to, but he actually put me into the most expensive university here.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was like, you don't have to do that anymore, because I want to actually have my own business and do my own thing, and that's about restructuring education. I want to do that because like I feel like the current education system has like failed me because we don't actually learn what how to survive in this world and how to deal with third world problems.
Yeah.
How would you go about restructuring education?
It's like teaching people how about what the problems that exist in the world and create solutions for it. And that's how you start. And then how you make a business and how you make a business for yourself, because everybody's too dependent over the job sector. And I will say that there's 7 billion people around the world, and how can all 7 billion people have a job?
So in France is where your dad got you to a business school and business college in France, business university, and that's where you kind of broke off and did your own thing.
Yes, I was actually the top student in the university. I I was recognized by the program director, the dean, the librarian, and pretty much all the teachers. They kind of recommended me, especially for tutoring all kind of students for extra help who needed extra help.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could be there, I could do it. And I was like the only student that was like willing to help everybody succeed.
That's nice. Yeah. That's not good business though. Business wise, you want to focus on yourself.
Yeah. But like the thing is that like I felt good. I feel like fulfilled when I help others more than I help myself.
Yeah. So you're in France. Oh, is your story caught up to your current day?
Yeah.
Business school.
There are a lot of stuff I didn't tell you, especially that happened in Romania, and yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Tell us about that in Romania.
So when I went to Romania, it was really cool because the first day I kind of loved the atmosphere, the environment. It was really cold, and I came from a really hot country. So the thing is that, oh my God, I love the weather. It's like an air conditioning. I go.
The whole place is air conditioned.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, I can finally like go anywhere I want to, and so a lot of people in my school assume that I always take the vehicles and I was too lazy to walk. And in Romania, I just walked kilometers and kilometers because every morning, I would order a taxi to go to uni, but the taxi would be late because I ordered at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And it arrived late. So what I did was I kind of walked to uni.
Yeah.
Well, I used to do that for like 2 months.
Do bicycles make sense in Romania, or is that too far?
The thing is that like I don't know how to ride a bike.
Oh, you could totally learn. This is one of your freedoms.
Yeah, the thing is that I think I need like a bit of time to learn the bicycle because I don't know how to ride a bicycle because I've been like stuck in Sri Lanka all by myself at home. So like I never went out that much, so I kind of don't know how to ride a bicycle, and nobody actually taught me. I kind of had a scooter.
Yeah.
But that was it. Yeah.
Here's the trick. Once you learn how to ride it, you never forget. It's just like riding a bicycle. You jump right back on.
Find the hottest French guy you could that you could find.
I don't think that's a solution.
And then ask him to teach you how to ride a bike.
I don't know. I don't think that's a solution because a lot of guys are also depending on the woman to be financially independent as well, because in order to like have a stability in the relationship. So I think that like a lot of men are kind of letting me down because I want permanence. Okay. I want like
oh, you're only 27.
Yeah, but like I was raised in a different culture, so I kind of like have goals in my life.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't like anything that's temporary.
Yeah.
I like something that has stability, has a good future ahead of me, and that's why I kind of get into relationships that I feel that has a solid foundation. I knew that about myself. I got to know that about myself in Romania. Like I sort of despise being in temporary relationships.
Oh, you don't like the fun dating?
No.
Yeah. So if you're going to be permanent, you need 2 incomes to afford all that fancy cheese in France. They have a Gruyere cheese. That sounds French. Can you confirm the cheese selection in France? What's the popular cheeses in France?
I really like the mozzarella.
That's Italian.
No, like a cottage cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my favorite cheeses.
Nice. All right, so we're in France. Are we caught up to the present day? No. Have you visited Ceausescu's palace in Romania?
Yes, I went there twice.
And is it an
I
amazing?
kind of love it. Yeah, it is. It is so amazing, and it's like I kind of learned some things about it that I wish I could tell you, but I wasn't prepared for that for this podcast. But like,
we talk. You have a perfect memory.
yeah. But like, it's not perfect, so I would say that
you have a 93% memory.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything from when I was 3 years old. I could tell you that.
So the marble that was used in the Ceausescu Palace is that similar of the Pentagon in the US.
Yeah.
And the structure and everything, and that's what I kind of learned in the Ceausescu Palace, and I kind of went to almost all of the rooms.
Yeah.
And I took pictures and I really became like really good at photography.
Oh, that's where you learned.
Yeah, it's like I like exploring and kind of like I went to the Ceausescu Palace. I would go and actually challenge myself, like do a little bit of challenges. Like I did not hike, so what I would do is like, since nobody's actually coming to hike with me because it's so exhausting and it's a complete no for most of the people. So I was like,
hiking for fun? Get out of here.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to do it alone and see how far I get.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it
hiking?
Is it a destination? Is it a church? Is it a monastery? Is it a
hiking
location?
as a hobby, like walking?
Oh, prior to the thing that you mentioned before, was it a building?
Palace.
Oh, the palace.
Palace. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Is it in the shape of a pentagon?
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It looks completely different. It's there are like Roman pillars in it as well.
So for our listeners, Romania's history, there was a I don't know what you call it, evil dictator. Was he might have been popular? I don't know. His big folly was he wanted to build this palace, so he was putting all of his money into this grand, incredible palace. And this is much more recent times than I think within probably the last 50 years. It's pretty recent compared to most European palaces and castles and shit.
Yeah, because he used to be a dictator and he used to cut people's heads off, as I can remember, and that's what my friends told me. And the thing is that the Western world switched it to like Dracula.
Oh yeah.
Is it a long?
He had a similar name.
Is it a long hike to the palace, or was hiking just a separate thing?
No, it's the palace is in the middle of the city. It's like in the capital.
Oh, okay.
It's the jewel of the city.
All right.
The pride of Romania.
Got it.
Built on all these murdered lives. Wait, so where's the hiking come in? You were hiking at the palace, or?
No, you had to go away from the city.
Okay. Gotcha.
The main city.
So you were walking around in the wilderness by yourself?
Yeah. And
that sounds very un-Sri Lankan.
Yes, it's called freedom.
I do it all the time here. Like so many places here. Actually, in the mountains, I think my favorite one was actually from north from here.
Yeah.
And it's I took the bus to go there, and it was such a beautiful place because you have a kind of medieval village as well. So you get to explore that, and it's on top of the hill. And a lot of hikers say that if you don't know the road, like especially if it's not summer, you can actually meet a lot of wolves.
Wolves?
Yeah.
Okay. This medieval village, is it like it was a medieval village, or there are people there now pretending to be medieval knights and stuff?
There are people who live there now as well.
Okay, but they're not wearing medieval clothes, right?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
What do you think about the Romanian culture while you're there?
I love it. The thing is that like one of my dad's friends actually invited us to a place where there was no Wi-Fi. and in the middle of the mountains. And yeah, he kind of showed me that there was a place like, and there were like animals, heads of animals, like
Yeah.
a place for hunters, like a hunter's theme party sort of way.
Wow. No
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. That's like the edge of the planet.
And there was this long dining table with so many courses.
Oh. Oh, wait.
Yes.
So it's like a royal feast kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's like his birthday, and they like served a lot of meat, a lot of job, and I like the dessert, which was papanasi, and that was really nice. It's with like jam, some kind of jam, in like a pastry. That's I kind of like that. And
What is it
I
called?
did like papanasi.
Papanazzi.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be a hit here. We need to bring Papanazzi to the U.S.
Killing people not like Hitler.
I mean, you just pop one in and chew away.
Yeah,
Delicious.
and,
Got a chutney jam on it.
Yes, I had a roommate as well. She was Romanian, and she was telling me this was a tradition that Romanians do, is that they cut the skin off the pig and they kind of put salt in it, and then they
Yeah.
kind of like they take their teeth and kind of like bite it and like tear it off from their canine tooth.
Yeah.
And this is what they do. And then I did it, and then and the whole thing like came out with saliva when I was trying to do it. I wasn't used to it.
Is it like cooked? Or is it like a beef jerky, or is this a raw pig skin?
It's no, it's a bit cooked. It's a
Okay.
bit cooked, not fully.
Yeah.
And you just put salt and you just tear it off. Like they did it, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah. That would not be as popular in the U.S.
And they called it sorici.
Sorici.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Papa Nazi better.
Papa
Sounds
Nazi.
like Papa Nazi.
So you're out in the wilderness of Romania at a medieval castle with a giant feast. No Wi-Fi. Wait, couldn't you just go to Starbucks to get Wi-Fi?
Like, no, it's like there was no signal for if you use mobile data. There was no like signal. There's no Wi-Fi, and it's kind of like, this was not medieval actually. This was like a cabin, like a hunter's themed cabin.
Okay. Hunting cabin
Yeah.
with a gigantic dinner table.
Yes, and there was like a dance floor in which Romanians, what they do is that they form a circle with their friends and kind of dance in like a circle.
Yeah, circle dance.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. Wait, do you have to be drunk to circle dance, or is that not required?
You can drink. It's the culture. It's their culture. Drink wine, and
Yeah.
go about. They had this really funny dance that I was kind of doing.
Yeah.
As well. It was easy to learn. Yeah.
Nice.
Was there catcalling in Romania? No? Okay.
No.
So they're a bit more mature.
Yeah, I came here to dance and chew on pigskin, bro. I'm not here to harass women.
What's the...
No, but it was really fun. Like I would say, because I had a lot of memories. I had a roommate, and my dad used to be really scared because okay, now I have a roommate and we don't know how she's gonna spoil my daughter. That was his kind of reaction.
She's gonna poison you with Western
No,
ideas.
no, she was like an amazing good friend. It's like she was more fast compared to me because I was kind of slow, especially for relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was really open to her, and we kind of take turns cooking because I can cook the fish, the chicken, and she can make most of the salad, and I can make rice, and we kind of took turns for each because I can make pasta as well and spaghetti, and we took turns and we kind of balanced it with our school work as well. And when I used to tell her that I had never been to a club before, a nightclub before, she actually took me to the nightclub, but I didn't tell my parents this because they would panic over in Sri Lanka.
I know, there's rapey men at the nightclubs. And
So,
drinking and drugs
No,
and that crazy music.
no, it's I love the music actually because it's
Yes.
I go to the club to listen to the music, and
I just go for the music.
yeah, and kind of spend a girls' night. And we kind of did this.
Yes.
The way we did this was kind of really weird and really unhealthy because like like I remember like I used to finish my exams.
Yeah.
And then right after I finished my exam, it's like I didn't sleep for like 2 days, especially with the final.
Uh-huh.
And then like we decided, okay, we should hit the club tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had like 3 days we didn't sleep because we
Yeah.
were trying to actually balance work life, which is academic life, and social life as well.
Yeah.
So I would say that was kind of extremely unhealthy, but like I actually like learned, experience what it's like to be in a club. She
Yeah.
actually took me there because I said I haven't been into a club, and she
Yeah.
like dragged me in, and it was kind of awesome, especially my first time. Like 7 guys wanted to dance with me, which is
Woo!
really weird.
Yeah.
And I ended up actually, I don't know, like I think it's part of their culture to like dance with random people, I guess.
Totally.
That's
Yeah.
a nightclub.
Well,
Yeah,
it helps if you're attractive.
yeah, and like
If you're not attractive, then it wouldn't be 7.
anyways, I accept what it is, and then like the
Wait, did
what-
you wear did you wear a suggestive cocktail gown?
No,
to this
I just
nightclub?
wore I wore like a business shirt, and sometimes.
Oh, pants at the nightclub. Were you the only person? Were you the only woman wearing pants at the nightclub in Romania?
No, it's my girl group.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That would be extremely weird here in the U.S.
Yeah.
for a gal.
Yeah,
To wear
but the
pants.
thing is that like what eventually happened is that I used to go to the like bar, and like my friends would be dancing with people I don't know.
Yeah.
And what I would do is like I would be having a conversation like like after getting drinks from the bar,
Mhm.
and then going outside to have this long political conversation or some long
This is exactly what your dad is worried about.
history conversation, a conversation about history. Like I'm always talking to people who's like 10 to 11 years older than me.
Yeah. No, that's good.
People who are like, people who are like fathers.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I've got you by like 20 years right now, so we're in good shape.
In Romania, are people allowed to talk bad about their government?
No, I want to find out if you're doing cocaine when you stayed up for 3 days and went to the nightclub.
No, it's like the thing is that I think they realize like I haven't actually. This is the first time that I'm actually out. I think they realize because they haven't spotted a girl like me before, and then the conversation
They would have noticed you if you were there last week. Yeah.
Yeah, and the conversations I get into are like based on history and politics and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So they realized that I was kind of different from the rest of the people, the rest of the girls that come.
Yeah. If you want to fit in, you got to talk about TV shows.
Yeah, and like I didn't actually watch any TV show at the time.
That's where I struggle. I don't know what the hell people are watching.
Yeah, especially Romanians. Like, what do they watch?
They watch Russian TV.
It's like me and my roommate used to like watch like we used to binge watch movies every time we had like a holiday, and we would have like 1 week holiday, and that's the maximum, like 1 week for Christmas, and then the next week like we have school again. It's like, and we would start binge watching because we know that this is the only holiday we're gonna get in a long while. So it's like we ended up binge watching. And I wanted to say that like one of the teachers, so kind of the like, I don't know, like his way of teaching, like I was questioning his every move. I was like, he's a surgeon. He has no time.
A surgeon, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Why is he here? And he used to tell us like the most interesting stories. But then I was like, you have 50 topics to cover within a syllabus, and he never actually covers it. You know, it's like it's like self-study in university.
Oh, so he might go in to operate on your heart and end up removing your spleen.
No, it's like I think he does a better job with the operation than teaching.
Yeah. Teaching,
I think
he's just hanging out with you guys. He doesn't actually want to teach you anything.
yeah, it's just like I had an anatomy teacher. He was a very interesting person. Like as a friend, like he was a good friend, but as a teacher, he was terrible. Like I would say, because he never completes like the syllabus. He doesn't even do half of the syllabus until it's like the end of the exam, and
This in Romania?
yeah.
Okay.
And then like I used to be like really angry with him because he was supposed to show us the like dead body and all the parts of the dead body several times before the end of the exam. But
Yeah.
actually that's what has been going on with my friends from other medical colleges.
Yeah.
But what he did was he used to show us the body one day before the exam.
Sometimes it's hard to get a dead body. You can't just be killing people, so you got to wait till the one's available, right?
No, there were like several. I think because I think he had a problem with managing his own time.
Yes.
And I think because doctors also don't get like appropriate wages so that they could like take care of their life as well, their own life as well. So it's not enough for their lives. So that's why I think he took teaching as well, because it would be a good payment for him. So he can like.
So here in the U.S., doctors are paid usually pretty well, and they're still fucking late for appointments all the time. It's baffling to me that they can go to 8 years of medical school and not show up on time for an appointment, and then they lose their shit if you're not on time. I'm like, motherfucker, why did you need me to show up on time and wait here for 48 minutes for you to put me in another room and wait another 32 minutes? It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
Yes, it's like
fuck doctors in the U.S.
Yeah. My anatomy teacher, if he says give me 2 minutes, it's going to be like 2 to 3 hours. That's what he means.
He's good at doctoring, not math.
Yeah, but like I used to get him, like he was my anatomy teacher for like 2 years, which I didn't like because I really wanted another teacher who would teach me better, more than like me teaching myself. And anatomy is not something that is a easy subject. It's hard, and it's like you have to understand all the structures of the body, like in complexity. It's not in simple, like it's not simple. It's not a simple verse you're memorizing. You're kind of like memorizing and learning all the body parts.
Yeah.
And you have to be extremely precise, and the questions you get are like for those who study in depth more than those who study shallow. You can't pass the exam if you study shallowly, or if you actually follow the teacher who is actually teaching you stuff in a very basic manner.
Plus you can't be going and getting your own dead bodies. You got to go through the school.
Yeah, it was kind of funny when I was joking around with my friends. Like, we have a couple of options, We could stay back. We could stay back since our classes finish at night. We could stay back till and live inside the university. We could stay back. We can wait till everybody locks the doors, off the lights, and then on it again once they are not there, and then go back to the anatomy room, and then check out the bodies. Or what we can do is come in the middle of the night.
Yeah, this is a terrible plan. This is how movies start.
Yes. or the third option is, since we have Facebook and we can kind of we have Facebook and Facebook groups, we're not supposed to put it publicly on social media, but dead body parts and stuff like this, and people think of us in such a bad way. So what we can do is, instead of like disobeying the rules,
Facebook is not for dead body parts. That is correct.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot in the world, but I know you do not share cadaver pictures
on Instagram.
But
what we ended up doing is that we made like a private group, and we called it like anatomy, so we could study. So we kind of took like videos of like dead body parts and the parts of dead cadavers, so we could identify all the nerves and arteries and veins for the final exam, and get to it like the day before. So it's kind of like weird that
Yeah.
we kind of have this, but it was actually needed because we can't steal dead bodies. We
Yeah.
can't go to a grave and start digging for dead bodies.
Oh, those are no good. Those are decomposed. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of illegal. I think medicine actually started. I mean, like the study of anatomy kind of
Grave
like
digging is slightly illegal in France. In Romania?
yes, it is.
Okay.
And we were,
Probably all countries.
yeah, we were like, okay, I don't want to I don't want to go to jail, okay, just because I want to pass an exam.
All right.
And
Well, I'm fascinated. Can you tell us what a spleen can do? What does the spleen do?
I'm not going to answer any
No medical
questions
advice?
right now. Yeah, I'm not going to answer because I'm prepared to actually tell you what actually happened in med school because it was fun.
Oh, tell us more about med school.
Yeah, because it was actually fun as you stated, and I kind of learned about the history as well. I was kind of going back to see like since when did students actually learn from cadavers, and my teacher would actually tell me that that they went back because I kind of prepared this podcast to tell you about what happened in my life.
Okay. We're ready.
So the thing is that what happened was that he told me that the first people who actually wanted cadavers to actually study the body were med students, and they actually went to a grave in the US, and they actually dug bodies of black people because nobody actually cared at the time when black people's bodies were being taken away.
Desecrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If it was a white person, the situation will be more alarming.
Yeah.
And this kind of happened until a white person's body was stolen.
Gotcha. Wait, so are you saying the first grave digging happened in the U.S.? No, there had to have been European grave digging and anatomy study, right?
No, he was telling a story in the U.S.
Oh, okay. So he was part of this, or he knew somebody that?
No, he knew a part of the history that he was trying to tell us because I was interested in it.
Yeah.
And there is like doctor to patient confidentiality. I don't know if the Romanian doctors actually do that because he was showing us pictures of patients. It's like,
okay,
look at this patient. This is the patient I have today.
She lives over there. So no HIPAA rules in Romania right now.
Yeah. I don't know, but like he was like really fun when it came to that because he's not supposed to do that and he still did.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get him in trouble.
Yeah. And what is so interesting about him is that his ringtone was the Star Wars theme song.
What was the Star Wars theme song?
His ringtone?
Oh, his ringtone. Oh yeah. Gotcha. So he's on the dark side, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was kind of so cool back then, and he was showing me all the cases, and then he used to tell us that a person was like sword fighting, and in the middle of sword fighting, his opponent kind of sliced his head like in half, and the blade was like inside his head.
Oh.
And then he started this is one of the stories like he mentioned is like he started walking all the way to the hospital in our university.
Yeah.
And then he just came into the university, and our anatomy doctor, he started taking pictures.
Yeah. Well, you don't see a dude with a sword in his head every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a picture of that. Put it on Facebook.
Instagram.
And he was interested, but he also told us don't share this on social media.
Yeah.
But
So he showed you the picture of the dude with the sword in his head.
Yes. That was pretty cool. It's like he was like bleeding all over.
Yeah.
And there was like a sword. like a sword stuck in the middle of his head, and I was like, how did the operation go? Did he like lose any parts of his brains, or the brain was any part damaged? I asked him, and then he said that luckily not all. He's still a bit. He was like he could control some parts of his body. But he managed to, like, he had some deformities afterwards.
Yeah.
But
because it cut into his brains.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah. It's not like the movies where everybody is like fully back to normal. It's this is a real case scenario.
Were they able to salvage the sword? Were they able to save the sword and bring it back to full?
Yes.
Okay.
Souvenir.
He lost some brain power but came up on a sword.
It's fun, right? Like what we learn in school, and like
I just feel bad for this dude that had to walk for the hospital with a sword in his head. Wait, are there no ambulances in Romania?
He chose to walk.
Yeah. Oh, so if you're gonna have a sword fight, do it near a hospital. Now we're thinking.
Maybe just have some protection.
Wear a helmet. I'm gonna take that as medical advice.
Yeah,
if you're gonna sword fight.
Yeah, so now I don't do medicine, but like I enjoy the memories like I had, and this like I would say that like the exams was like super tough.
Yeah,
I was good in like biochemistry. Anatomy was so tough for me. Because like my first year, I managed to get 9s for every subject except anatomy.
Because your teacher sucked. Yeah, he was late on everything.
So like imagine getting 9 for psychology, 9 for cell biology, like 9 for like 9 on 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so 9 for biochemistry, and then seeing your anatomy score is like 5.
Do you still feel lost at anatomy now? You feel like you're missing?
Yeah, I feel like I forgot everything in anatomy. I just remember some of the muscles, some of the like muscles. I think I forgot about anatomy the most because it's like so much of memorization I had to do.
Yeah.
But I still remember some parts like the pectoralis major, pectoralis in the minor,
gluteus maximus.
I think the gluteus maximus is we have scoliosis. We have scoliosis muscles. Triceps and biceps are kind of easy.
Yeah.
Radius muscles.
Right.
So I have I can remember some of the body parts, but not all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of parts. Oh, isn't there something like 200 something bones? Over 211 or something? 209?
206, right?
206?
I think I can't remember.
Is it different for men and women because we have more ribs or less ribs?
The thing is that now I've specialized with mental health that I've already forgotten about everything that has, because it's too much to keep in your mind. I felt like after the first day, it's like I forgot mostly about anatomy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I memorized that entire subject.
Yeah.
And I felt like for the others, I kind of like I learned the subjects. For the other subjects, I kind of learned it, so I kind of know the difference now between reading and memorizing. When you learn something, it's there in your head in like a simple mechanism or way.
Mm-hmm.
And when you memorize it, it's like it's gone the next time because it doesn't stay in your long-term memory. It's actually staying in your short-term memory.
I see. Yeah.
And it kind of disappears afterwards. When you're learning, it goes from their short-term memory to your long-term memory. So it stays more in your head.
Yeah.
And that's why the education system should be more of a learning curve more than memorization.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was freedom for you most noticeable? Right after leaving Sri Lanka to go to Romania? Or what was it?
I think like after the first year, my parents came back like to make sure like everything was fine with me, and because they are always following me wherever I go. Yeah.
Do they have a cell phone tracker on you?
Yeah, probably. If they had that kind of device, yes. So, yeah, so like I think freedom came about in that point, but a lot of things took place for that to happen. Like I remember like during my first year, like studying medicine, like right after the language year, I remember that I had intense anxiety because I was like studying for exams, and even though like I knew I was good for like some of them, I would like think of myself as an imposter or incapable of doing it
Oh,
because because it was hard. It was on another level compared to, and it was a huge step from like A levels
yeah.
to the first year of university. So like I remember one day I just woke up in the morning and I stood up and I collapsed
Oh,
and I was on the floor. It's like my legs stopped moving.
yeah.
I couldn't move my legs. And I remember like I was crying that day because I had an exam that very same morning
Yeah.
and I didn't know how am I going to get there. And
You need your legs to get there. Yeah.
yeah.
Just
And
like
then,
Joe needed for the podcast.
Joe the wussy who fell down in the shower
Yeah.
and tendonitis himself out of this podcast.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Sorry, you were having a terrible day. So was it anxiety that caused this physical reaction, or you
Yes,
weren't eating
yes.
enough or not sleeping enough or all of those things?
This was intense anxiety. I was not sleeping enough, but like I also managed
Yeah.
to like balance it in some sort of way. So I don't think it's mainly on the sleep. I think it's solely based on anxiety itself.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when I lost control of my legs, I was like, I was crying there. Like I couldn't reach my phone to tell anybody. I couldn't, my roommate was
I'm going to die right here.
yeah. And then I had a blackout and like
Yeah.
I was kind of sleeping after that. And then like I woke up like after like 15 minutes after
Yeah.
work and I still couldn't move my legs.
Yeah.
And then it's still kind of like black patches sort of like everywhere. Like when I started opening my eyes, it's like
Yeah.
black patches everywhere. What I did was I started to conjure up energy from somewhere, even though I had none.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like crawled all the way to the bathroom, the washroom.
Yeah.
I kind of dragged my legs. Like I used to take my hands and I crawl and like
Yeah.
drag my legs after that. And it was kind of like a weird sensation. And then I went there and then I tried to like hold the doorknob and stand.
Yeah.
And that's what the first thing I tried to do. Stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is that I couldn't feel my legs and I couldn't feel myself standing.
But you did it?
I needed the like the support of the doorknob, like the door and doorknob. And then I managed to stand up, but it feels like I need the wall for support, need the doorknob,
Yeah.
keep my back straight and stuff like this. And my roommate was sleeping, so when this all was happening, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get my legs working. The thing is that I was so dizzy, like when I stood straight, it's like I needed to get down again back to the floor, but I didn't let myself. Yeah.
It sounds like when I drink too much.
I didn't drink anything. It was like intense anxiety.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't want to go. I told myself that I don't want to go back to the floor. My next move is try to make my legs working.
Yeah.
And what happened was I got so dizzy to the point that I kind of puked. And then I lost stability.
Also like drinking, yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't drink. So what happened was like right after I puked.
Yeah.
I thought I would feel better, but still no. But I like still needed the doorknob to at least slack myself and then go
to stabilize. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I think like I was late for the exam that day because like after 45 minutes I started trying to like move my legs.
Yeah.
And then little by little, I got the hang of it. And then I thought to myself, I should, without taking a taxi, I should like train my legs.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked.
Okay. So you did like you did a whole rehab in one day.
Yeah.
In 1 hour.
It wasn't actually rehab because I didn't take drugs or anything. And it was like an intense anxiety because I was so concentrated on what to do with the exam.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to fail it, and I actually passed it really well.
Well, also you were late, so then you had less time and more pressure to do the exam.
Yes.
Has that happened ever since? Have you kind of like?
No.
Have you kind of?
I never let that happen afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, so when something happens in my life, like I take precautions to not let that happen again.
Yeah. Good thing you didn't have a sword stuck in your head. That would have been a tough walk.
Yes.
And a lot of pictures.
Everybody in class. Dude, this girl's committed.
Yeah, even
nail
for
this
cancer.
exam.
Yeah, even for most of the cancer patients, I found out that depression is like one of the main causes for cancer.
Wait, depression causes cancer?
Yes.
I would say definitely the other way around. Like I'd be pretty.
It's a correlation. You should have to have you should have to have some sort of mental defect in order to get cancer, because if your mind isn't free, whole body is prone to disease.
Yeah, my understanding of cancer was that it is a unchecked cellular growth, right? Our cells multiply, repair, and rebuild naturally.
That's naturally. And if like basically that happens when your mind is stable, when your mind is not like negative as well. If you're always like prone to thinking negatively, prone to invite anxiety in you, prone to take depression, your body starts working in a different way.
Yeah.
Is it like a 70, 80% percentile where like, as in say there's like 20 different type of cancers that you could get by being healthy mentally? Are you just preventing like maybe 18 of them, but then the other
you'll still get prostate cancer?
As in the other ones are still a low percentile.
It depends on the body part your brain targets.
Okay. Yeah.
Because your brain sort of has different targets. You don't actually control some parts of your brain, right? You have no control of it. You don't know how to control it, but it controls different parts of the body without your knowledge.
I would say in the U.S. there's probably a higher correlation of age with cancer than depression or happiness. In the U.S., as we get older, I mean, we're so lucky to have great medical infrastructure here. It's destroying us financially, but medically we have a lot of hospitals and stuff.
But when you grow older, it's kind of it can be two ways to it. It's like you lose a lot of things when you're growing older. You lose your children, you lose everything. You feel like everything is going away from you, and then
can't go to the nightclubs.
When elder people actually go into like elderly homes, they feel like they're completely isolated from their family, and their family is never coming back.
Yeah.
And that also has an effect on the body.
Yeah, but that's not where Americans get cancer. I mean, a lot of parents get cancer in the U.S. here.
Yeah. It can be also related to, how they take care of themselves. It depends on what they eat, what they consume,
Yeah.
Everything has a part to play.
Wait, so does France have a lower cancer rate because they're eating a lot of grapes?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think here, like, the main problem is, like, in Europe, is like everybody's smoking.
That'll give you lung cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. In the even in my university, you can see that in my medical university I was in, you can see cigarette butts everywhere, like in the entire university.
I'm so happy to hear that Europe is smoking too much, because in America we eat too much and we get diabetes and cholesterol problems. But America's pretty anti-smoking cigarettes. Cigarettes are really rare. I mean,
It's gone down a lot since the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah, if like out of all the people we know, it's probably 1 out of 20 that's a cigarette smoker.
Mm-hmm.
When it used to be, probably like 80% of people would smoke, but it's gone way down. So I'm happy to hear that Europe is behind us in cigarette smoking. I don't want to be the fat dumb Americans for everything.
Yeah, so yeah. Even during med school, I had like depression, some sort, because like throughout my life, I have been like thinking that people who use reverse psychology and manipulation is something to do with me and not them. So yeah,
People that were trying to reverse psychology you?
Yeah. So I think
Oh.
that I used to think that there was something wrong with me and not with them. So because
I think you should start smoking.
no, I don't want because
No, it's great. Everybody's doing it.
No, I don't want to do it just because everybody's doing it. It's not good for the body.
Okay. That was my attempt at reverse psychology.
Yeah, and no, because the way they do it is that not in that situation.
Yeah.
This kind of situation is that when people are doing something wrong and they shift the blame to you,
Oh.
it's kind of like that. So especially when you grew up like as a child, you would think that the fault is on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so these were kind of building blocks for the depression as well.
Mm.
And the way I kind of recovered was challenging lifestyle, commitment, consistency, controlling myself. And
the 3 C's.
yeah.
I'm glad you got control of yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah. So like, I was like this is what I do because I try to have a challenging lifestyle. So I also, what I do is like, I give a lot to others. So if I see like homeless people, like I want to donate anything I have on hand. And I don't know, it makes me feel fulfilled actually for the moment. Like it really like heals me, especially what I'm going through. I actually donate my old clothes like every couple of months to the church. I go to the church. I'm not exactly Christian, which is kind of odd, but I consider like every religion to be the same thing. It's like we are supposed to actually unite. We are not supposed to kind of be differentiated due to religion or any other beliefs. Every religion is the same thing, it's the same thing, and the people are the ones who kind of created religion in the first place, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with giving your clothes to a church if the church is going out and helping needy people.
Yeah.
You're not saying I subscribe to this religion. You're saying, hey, I see you helping people. I'm going to donate to that.
Help people. Yeah, I'm going to help people.
Yeah. No, I've taken sweaters down to Mexico before. Me and Aunt Sung one time we drove a carload of sweaters down to a church down in Mexico. I think it was Calexico. It was a long ass drive, but hopefully 50 people got sweaters that day.
And a bit of confidence I had, because like I had that I would tell myself, if I get through this, I can get through anything.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my mindset, that's how I like came all this way. That's how I kind of got a scholarship to do the second most hardest course. I went out of anxiety. I controlled my mind, learned how to control it. Actually, I started even looking for, searching for myself basically, because I noticed that like we tend to copy a lot of people just because we want to fit into society. And I felt like individuality is the right answer, is to just be yourself, because everybody's the same.
Yeah, I like to think that I'm individual, but at the end of the day, I'm not that different. I mean, I drive a truck and I wear clothes and I eat breakfast. I'm not doing anything that wild.
Personality-wise, we need different people. And I don't know, for some reason, like the people I've been surrounded with always tell me like I have a very interesting life.
Yeah. No kidding. I mean, most people don't get to travel to go to university to Romania and France, and they don't have your unique cultural origins. So yeah, it's a wildlife.
Yeah, I'm also very grateful. The thing is that like I decided to switch afterwards because I knew that like okay, I have my parents. They actually got like their French visa. So the thing is that they couldn't stay in Romania. They had to stay in France. But they spent most of their lives in Romania with a French visa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of weird. So I made the choice that I wanted to switch because freedom is more important to me than I can use the knowledge I gained in medical school for something else. But it was definitely, I was not ready to be a doctor, especially with this anxiety and depression that was coming over me and making me so unhealthy. And I was like losing a lot of weight. I'm prone to lose a lot of weight. When I'm like full of anxiety and depression, like I used lose 10 kilos really fast. So in a matter of 3 weeks, I lose 10 kilos easily.
Is that 22 pounds?
2.4 pounds to 1 kilo.
Oh, is that like 4 pounds?
Oh
yeah. You said 10 kilos?
So that's 24 pounds.
24 math.
So I'm like, so my weight is like, my healthy weight is like 54 kg. And I easily lose like 10 kilos in a matter of 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's 22 pounds.
Yeah.
That's not healthy. You can't do that.
Yeah. So that's
why. Are you sure you weren't doing cocaine?
No, I'm not doing cocaine. Because I kind of learned, I learned about drugs at a like really young age, and I kind of learned because I was always into biology and stuff. So
yeah, I
kind of learned the bad effects of drugs. So I didn't want to get that into my body. I hated my dad for smoking. I would tell him use nicotine patches, but he never listened to me.
Yeah,
and he's kind of using stress as a reason to keep on smoking, which is kind of bad. And he drinks a lot, which I don't like. I don't like people who I get into relationships with who drink a lot and smoke a lot.
Wait, how much is a lot of drinking?
It's like if it's okay if you have like 3 glasses.
Yeah. Per day or per meal?
It's like per, I would say, like if you're having a fancy kind of party or occasion, and it takes like 3 glasses of wine, that's a medium, moderate level of intake.
Yeah,
that is actually healthy and good for the heart, but and that it promotes a lot of good cholesterol or HDL cholesterol that is breaking down on in the liver and then excreted. But if you take over, I actually put these details in my book, Unveiling the Truth Behind Catherine's Destiny. I just put those because I feel like every young adult would know what's the actual consumption to be healthy and what's not. And if you overdo it, it's like there's bad cholesterol called LDL and VLDL that kind of goes into your body, creates plaques, and your body responds by building plaques and kind of blocking the bloodstream to vital organs or the heart. And you might actually have organ failures or heart diseases arising from that. But also, I forgot to mention that because this is what I read this from a book, that a lot of pharmacists won't actually say this because a lot of pharmacists,
inside info. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So a lot of pharmacists won't actually say this because their products won't sell for heart attacks and organ failures. Because dental bacteria, when it goes into the bloodstream, the body responds to dental bacteria by forming a plaque around the artery, protecting it.
Yeah.
And it's like saying that this plaque formation is a way how the body kind of protects itself.
So how do we reduce dental bacteria if that is the case? I mean, you seem to have great teeth from here.
Yeah, brush your teeth twice a day. I was actually reading this book. I can't remember the book, but it was made out of it was written by a pharmacist.
Yeah.
And there was I also studied about vaccines during my um, period in med school. Like
Yeah.
I knew the vaccine, how a drug or a vaccine is produced. So you kind of have the first stage, which is the drug investigation. Then you have the preclinical trial, which is the animal testing. Then you have the clinical trial, which they kind of test this drug with 10 to 100 healthy patients. Then what they do is that they test it with 10 to 100 patients who have
Yeah.
the disease, and then it's 300 to 3000 patients, and then they have to fill two kinds of applications, the IND application and NDA application, and that has kind of like several thousands of pages, and these kind of clinical trials takes about like 4 to 8 years,
Yeah.
you know. And the FDA has to approve at each stage, and then comes the marketing
Yeah.
phase of the drug or vaccine. So yeah, I know all this stuff, so I just put it out there. Especially it could be useful because we are facing a pandemic as well.
Yeah.
And that's in your book, all in your book.
Yeah, all in my book, but in my book it's like very much detailed, and this is my learning curve and what I've learned and what I'm putting it out.
Is the book kind of like a autobiography of yourself, or is it kind of a kind of
It's
mixture?
it's like yeah, it's a mixture. I made it like in third person because I used to tell like a lot of stuff that happened. Like I also am a victim of child abuse as well. So I kind of made it in third person so people wouldn't ask me why am I putting my problems on on
Okay.
book.
It wasn't
So I
Now
kinda
you're telling the whole internet.
What was the name of the book again?
Yeah, unveiling the truth behind Catherine's destiny.
What's that? Unveiling the
Truth behind
Truth
Catherine's
behind
destiny.
destiny.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
On the topic of drugs, what's your opinion on psychedelics and marijuana?
Together?
So
Separately.
Oh.
Well, together, if that's really your thing, like cocaine.
yeah. Okay, together it's like they don't actually, yeah. So they don't actually teach you about this stuff in med school, and this is like plant medicine, and I think that we have still a lot to learn about that because there are specific components that give you the high of marijuana and weed, and for example. But we haven't actually studied which parts significantly, and a lot of people have access to them without knowing the correct dosage.
Yeah, I know some people that have studied THC a lot, and apparently 2 brownies is too much dosage. In the U.S., we measure THC in brownies.
Yeah. I think like I am so grateful for my life that I came this far, like without any drugs or plant medicine or all these things.
Yeah.
I'm not even dependent on alcohols. I don't smoke. I kind of gave up coffee, like gave up like an intense consumption of coffee 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now I like kind of juices and stuff. I know it's kind of a boring life, but
No, that's good. Meth is bad. If anybody ever offers you methamphetamine, that's a bad one.
yeah,
Meth and heroin. Avoid those two.
I kind of like documentaries based on them. I kind of watch them.
It never ends
because I
well.
want to learn more. Like I feel like these topics are so interesting.
You want to see people's lives crash into the gutter?
I don't know. It like feels interesting to know about the drugs and to know what they have, the effects they have on people.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of like watching documentaries. I like Breaking Bad as well. The TV series. Like it teaches you a lot of stuff, a lot of moral lessons as well.
Yeah, don't do meth.
Yeah.
in an RV.
Yeah. Yeah, so back to the story is that my parents had like a French visa.
Yeah.
And they were staying in Romania. So I was like, this would be the best time to switch. Since it's good for them because all my family and I was the only one who had like Romanian visa and Romanian residence.
Yeah.
So I was like, I would switch to France and I could study business.
Sounds like you're still trying to get away from your parents.
Yeah, still.
Stop following me.
Yeah. And what I did was like I gave up medicine, and I thought that maybe I can have a job, or I could actually start being more financially independent. I used to tutor and sell notes in med school as well. But
You
like
sold
I was,
notes in med school?
yeah, I sold notes because
Oh,
everybody.
you take the notes in the class and sell them to people who weren't there taking
No,
notes.
it's like people who didn't have access to like the material that you needed to know for the exam. Like I used to get
Yeah.
it from older kids as well, people who didn't have access to them basically, or didn't know them.
Oh.
So
You mean like answers to the test?
not answers, because you
Okay.
can never get answers because the papers are always changing. The
Okay.
questions are always changing, and it's like every class like gets a different paper, and we have like different sets of papers, and you don't know which one you get.
Okay.
So there's no point cheating, because if you get the wrong paper, everything is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like cheating no way. And the way we used to pass answers is like scratching the back like this. It's the spinal.
There's a
Because
code?
there's no way to copy. There's no way to copy. There's no way to like tell people the answer. So
Yeah.
what my friend used to do is that she used to show me a picture, like, what is this under the microscope? Where is this in the body part? So it's like,
Huh.
this is how
Weird,
we,
yeah.
that's the only way we can copy.
Okay. Now, hey, everybody can do mid school now. Just cheat in class.
It's really hard to cheat as well.
Yes. The teachers are watching.
Yeah. Yeah, but like
Gotcha.
I think I made a good choice to change, because like too much was happening. My parents were trying to control me.
Yeah.
And I figured that when you go to the job sector in med school, it's like you don't have freedom of speech. That's why people are going on strike. It took a pandemic for doctors and for medical professions to go on strike, which is kind of ridiculous. And because I know, and it's a very long process, because you have 6 years to study, you graduate, then you have to do residency, and then you have to do specialization.
Yeah.
I want to specialize in like because I was interested in the heart, but it would take 8 years, and I didn't want it to wait for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I was thinking this is kind of my thought process, and I was like, I would actually go for psychology, which is specialization for 3 years, or dermatology. Those
Yeah.
are my two options. I like psychology and I like dermatology.
Yeah.
And the thing is that what I did was like I gave it up and I did business instead. And I realized that I was still reading books like this was a book from Oliver Sacks. It's called The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. That was my favorite book.
That's a business book?
No, that's a psychological book.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's with so many interesting cases, and I fell in love with that book. That would be my all-time best favorite book.
The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat.
Yeah, by Dr. Oliver Sacks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I would still keep up with mental health news and depression news and kind of like politics as well, because those were my interests.
Politics is depressing. At least here in the US.
No, politics is exciting. Like I feel like I'm watching a movie every time I'm on.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you most interested in French, Romanian, or Sri Lankan politics? Or all of them?
I actually US.
US politics. That's the biggest scam of all.
That's why it's so interesting.
Oh, no, it's all a scam.
And I have actually studied about US history for O-levels, my O-levels. So I kind of was interested from when I was 15 itself.
Yeah.
So it's
what part of the US politics are you interested in about?
Trump.
It's like because I've been following the politics like after the boom, and that's how I kind of started the whole US history and stuff like this. After the boom in the 1920s. So from that boom. Yeah, that boom.
Yeah. The Roaring 20s.
Yes, and the flappers.
Oh, so do you look at it like more the history of it, or are you looking at like it interests you on like ways to think of how currently it can change and what you could do to get
Yes,
involved?
yes, that's because history plays a major role, whether it's politics or anything. Basically, you can learn from history before you make mistakes in like at present. That's what it's like history is like past lessons you can learn from. That's why I think US history is like so much more interesting.
Mm.
Our history is like a fairy tale, so
As in, it's not like they're not
it,
giving you the facts, or it's a fantasy
yeah,
story, or
no, it's like there's so much of magic and mystery, you
yeah.
know. It seems like a fantasy
Okay.
out of a book.
Yeah. U.S. history and politics seems to be like the inevitable decline of civilization.
But it's also it's super interesting. It's like watching a movie.
We might as well be all on meth right now because things are not getting better anywhere in the U.S.
When
Yeah,
you think of U.S. politics, what would you change, or what systematic changes do you think should happen?
it's like we should like stop being racist, and we should like yeah. This is one of the questions you asked, answers to the questions you asked for the final questions, and I would say like to cope with humanity's biggest problems would be like to educate them, to make give them access to education. So when more people have access to education, and when it's like for a cheaper price, so it's not that expensive, like sky high expensive,
Mm-hmm.
they know what are the problems and how the solutions to deal with it. And that I feel like there has been so much of inequality in this world, so nobody knows exactly where the country um, needs help, basically in which areas of
Oh, I know.
country. Yeah.
I've got all of the U.S.'s
And
problems
yeah,
figured out.
yeah. And then racism and treating, I also mentioned this in the book, like treating crime as like sort of people who have mental disorders
Mm-hmm.
are the people who like engage with crime. So taking that
Criminals.
as taking that as a mental health issue, and
Yeah.
sort of like telling them there's a better way.
What about recently? Our great state of Texas has made abortion illegal. So politically, how do you feel about that?
I feel like people should be given a choice. It's like nobody plans to be pregnant, right?
You should. I mean, we
Yeah.
had to. We should in the U.S. We should plan for pregnancy.
It's like, but the thing is that you know that sexual intercourse is like not only for creating babies, and for some people they just want to do it for other personal reasons, and then I think that
Yes, I
as a
have
result,
personal reasons for sex.
yeah.
Every guy does.
Yeah. So the thing is that when you're introducing a baby to the world, you sometimes don't have to have the financial input to support the baby. You don't have, and some people do not have the necessary means to support the baby and grow the baby. So I think that abortion should be legal. The thing is that if you can't support the baby, then what you're going to do with it? You can't just put them in an orphanage and make them not believe that they don't have a family for the rest of their lives.
This is some Michael Jackson wisdom right here. He addressed this theme in a lot of his songs.
I'm
If you
trying to
can't
think.
have a baby, don't have a baby. Don't say baby. Can't have the baby. That I think Billie Jean. I think Billie Jean was all about whose baby is this? To say the kid is not my son.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and imagine the kid grows up and like they want to know why their family abandoned them and for what reasons, and that is also a mental health issue. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter who or what kind of people adopt them. Even if they have a sister, they will be separated.
Well, I wasn't trying to be a dad. I wanted to have a lot of great sex and go to the nightclub and party. for
Yeah,
personal
but
reasons. So Texas has made this a criminal activity now to accidentally have babies.
yeah,
Oh
and
no, you
if the
can't. You
baby,
can't
yeah,
unaccidentally have them. You must have accidental babies in
Yeah.
Texas.
Yep.
Okay, Texas is turning criminals out of people who cannot plan for pregnancy. Is
oh,
what Texas is doing.
that is too much.
What is
Because
the political solution?
the political aim is make abortion legal.
It was legal, and now they made it illegal. This is new. They've decided that
Yeah.
that was wrong. They've decided that we need to make it illegal. Well, Texas.
Well, I think that's wrong. You should make it legal. And I try to explain the situations right there.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you give birth to like a deformed child, for example,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that child is has no possibility of living more than 3 years, let's say.
hmm
It's better to abort.
Where's the line? What if that child can only live 8 years?
Yeah, well, they can't live a full life like any normal human being. So I would think that abortion is the best way.
So anybody that's not coming out reasonably healthy and
Not anybody. If they have the potential to live a long lasting life like any other individual, even though they're deformed, that's okay. But
what if they have Down syndrome? You can live a long time.
Yeah.
Do you still get to live a long life with Down syndrome?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You can.
Make it sound obvious.
Yeah, you can. A significant amount, like even 50 years is like, it's a good life. You can improve yourself, and there are methods to like improving yourself and kind of learning at your own pace. It doesn't matter how slow you are against the rest of society. It's not a race. The person you have to compete is the person in the middle, which is yourself.
What if you have multiple sclerosis and you can only live till 20 years old?
I think it's better to abort in that case because,
So the good years are after 20.
Well, you gotta. I think I'm guessing from Rashni's her opinion. I'm guessing. You correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to guess. You reach a point in life where you're able to reflect on life and kind of deal with the pressures of life, the sad truths of death coming up and whatnot. Yeah. If you can't reach that and be mature or have the life opportunities to reach that, then aborting it is better, because then if you're so young and you come up to the possibility of death as a young kid, you don't know how to deal with that.
Exactly.
You have to get old enough to accept death to be worth not aborting.
And and people have to kind of suffer more. Like, you have to suffer more, basically, when you're in this world. So
I think it's a hard line. It's got to be brutally difficult for parents to choose if you're in a position of, hey, my kid's not perfectly healthy, and we have the medical technology to know.
Yeah, and even if abortion is illegal, it's not that hard to avoid yourself from being pregnant, right?
Apparently we struggle with that in the U.S. We have a lot of unplanned pregnancies because people have a lot of personal reasons, including stealthing, which is insane.
What's stealthing?
Stealthing is if you're a young person on the internet, you think it's funny so if you're a dude, you're going to have sex with a gal, and then you whip off the condom without telling her, and then impregnate her. And there's, that's clearly a dysfunctional, devious behavior with serious, responsibilities.
Yeah, and rape, possibilities of rape. Then abortion should be legal.
Yeah. So what if some idiot whips off the condom because it feels good, and then now you got a baby that you can't abort? These are really difficult questions. Difficult topic.
That's why I think abortion should be legal, because there's so much rape, sexual harassment also going on. So it should be legal.
So I'm curious on your thoughts on like other politics in U.S. So take outside of abortion, outside of education, what would you fix in the government in the U.S.?
Most of the country's government system, I would say, the people I would replace them like Biden did. Like, because I
You
want
replace
to.
the politicians?
Yes.
Oh, I thought for a moment I thought you said replace the population. I was like, holy
Not
shit,
replace
this
the
is really
population.
extreme.
Why would you replace the
We need to
population?
abort all these people. They suck.
I'm with you if that's the case. It's just I'm surprised you said it.
Thanos.
Okay, so replace
They don't.
so replace the politicians.
Yeah, replace the politicians, because one of the situations in Sri Lanka that's going on is that the people working in the government are very corrupt, and the whole political sector, the Senate, and those kind of institutions is that we have really corrupt people. So there are so many memes on the internet that is going about our countries that if you're a politician, you just need to be greedy and fat.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if that's a solution. We've been replacing politicians for centuries. Every time we lose a politician, we put a new politician in there. We've been replacing them nonstop.
But it depends on how well they have played their roles, you know.
Oh, they're all terrible, yeah.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S.
I wonder if just replace them and then
yeah, and someone who cares for the people more than themselves.
Oh, how do you do that?
yeah, how would you systematically get
If only
that
we
to
had the
happen?
freedom to pick somebody who cared about us.
Democracy?
Sounds great.
Because the thing is that, like, it's so ironic that we live in a democratic country, yet democracy is not shown in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that situation is there in US and in Sri Lanka as well.
Where we have democracy, but we don't?
Yeah. It's a democratic country, but we don't have freedom of speech, especially in the medical sector, which kind of has me like thinking, you know, we live in a democratic country. We are supposed to have freedom of speech. We are supposed to have freedom at all, you know?
Well, I mean, the right to vote for your leader is different than the freedom of speech, right? Technically.
Yeah. But you have the right of vote, and you have freedom of speech as well.
Yeah.
That's what democracy is, right?
Democracy is the voting of your political leaders, voting people into power, as opposed to people taking power or inheriting power, I believe.
But yeah, the qualities, freedom of speech is also in their capitalism, and all these components are there in democracy as well, right?
Yeah. I guess Western nations that embrace democracy tend to hold a lot of those ideals concurrently. Liem's thinking, am I way off?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I think you're on. I mean, the democracy in America is a representative, is it republic?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think that racism also is a situation that occurs because people don't have access to education again, so they don't know. They think that every race is based on skin color when it shouldn't be.
What should we base our racism on?
No, it's like human race. We are supposed to.
Gotcha.
We are supposed to collaborate. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yes. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a human race, and we're not supposed to be hating on each other and envying everybody. That's not how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. If only we have a black president, that would do it in America.
Obama.
Shit.
It didn't work.
I think that broke us more, not because of Obama, but just the political backlash of the old racists hating him so much. I think it invigorated, it rekindled the flames of racism. It galled them so hard to see, a black American in the number one position that it permanently wedged a divide and a schism in our political culture.
I want to guess that is, with the timing of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, those social media things, that I think all of it is just a magnification of the human condition, the human problem.
Yeah. I mean, I would also say maybe Obama wouldn't have been the president without social media, right? He brought a level of popular support that we had not seen in a long time because he got everybody excited.
But that, I mean, that's still all of it. It's still a magnification all from it made Obama made him president because of social media and the magnification of the human problem, which is greed, selfishness, stupidity, lack of education, and then getting him as a president to further the divide for Republicans or Democrats to feel and hate each other even more and push social media on top of that even more. So I think it's just a growing chasm, and I don't think we could fix it. I think I don't see a way to fix it right now.
Well, Texas has wanted to be its own country for a long time. They could just divide off and be the Republican place with all the Republican stuff. All the old people and white racists can move down to Texas and have all their guns and shoot down all the socialism that they hate and give back all the Social Security money. We're solving the problems here. It's easy. We got this.
Yeah, getting young, replacing politicians. If they could do an age thing, that'd be amazing. Like you can't be older than 50 years old.
I don't know if I said it on this podcast before. There was some meme or something that people in their 70s and 80s are generally unhireable because you consider, in the U.S., you consider them, hey, they either can't work an 8-hour day. It's not physically good to work when you're 70 or 80, or you have some mental decline, right? Are we as sharp when we're 70 or 80, or are we a little wacky when we're that old? And so generally, you can't hire 70 and 80-year-olds to do anything in the U.S. You can't for a job, right? But then our Congress is made up of all these incredibly old people that are holding on to power. So these are people that have no idea about technology and are presumably in some state of mental decline.
Yeah, as technology is growing bigger and bigger, in the software engineering world, it's a huge thing, the ageism where software engineers, if a company's hiring, most likely they're going to hire someone under the age of 50. And so all the age 50 and older software engineers are very upset at the situation. But it's unfortunate. These older people are going to hate me, but it's kind of true. The software engineers, once you reach over 50, your brain slows down. You can't develop code as fast and as agile as these younger people coming in. I'm 40 years old, and
holy shit, you're 40.
And I
10 years left the program.
Yeah,
thank you.
So young. Yeah.
I could tell I feel like my software development skills, it feels like it's slowing down. Not a huge amount, but I mean, when I look at some of these younger people coming in, they're building some crazy stuff, and they're learning all this new technology so fast. Yeah,
but I mean, that's just as easy as me admitting that I can't play video games as good as a 16-year-old, right? A 16-year-old's going to whoop my ass at video games. So, hey, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Same with basketball. I'm 44. I can't play basketball, right? There's certain things you age out of, which is not to say that there's not some exception in every case, right? There's some 50-year-old basketballer who's kicking ass, right? There's some, 60-year-old guy that's pretty good at fucking video games. I'm not going to say that you can't be a leader or a politician if you're older. I'm saying if you look at it in general,
we specialize in different areas in life. It's like you asking me medical questions right now. I can't really answer them because I've specialized in life coaching.
Oh, we should ask you life coaching questions.
Life coaching and mental health, because I specialize in life coaching and mental health issues.
Yeah. So do you think there are different mental health issues in France than in the US, or is it all the same shit?
I think it's all linked.
Yeah. Is social media a problem in French culture?
Actually, they are all in social media, especially the young generation. It's like they can't keep the phone down.
Yeah.
And I think it's like most of the health problems start from there because you're comparing yourself to someone you don't even know.
Yeah. Can't keep up with my Instagram. I'm pretty awesome on Instagram. I had a popular post yesterday, FYI, everybody.
I don't know. It's like I actually use Instagram to tell basically tell young people that this is what you should focus on. You should not be scrolling around like robots.
Yeah.
The thing is that
You
you don't
use
even
the
know.
addiction machine to tell people to get off the addiction machine?
I use the definition to tell people to not actually use it for. There's so many ways you can use it now. Like you can use it to do a business. You can use it to like gain popularity over some sort of topic.
Yeah.
Like write quotes about it. So use it for your talents. Use it for your talents. Don't use it to drain all your energy because someone else looks good in a picture that you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
I like the politics talk. It's kind of fun. What other big thoughts do you have for U.S.? How do you fix the U.S.?
U.S. has a lot of problems to deal with. The thing is that first of all, you have to look at better leaders. The thing is that take a look at better leaders. It's like something really hard to do because like nobody really like. I think Obama was a great leader, and when it came between Trump and Biden, I was one of the few who didn't like neither of them. I know everybody should be given a chance, but like it's U.S. presidency, there should be a bit of like toughness on them. It's like people. I prefer more younger people because they have they are also like they have a knowledge of everything. I feel like when you're older, you kind of don't have the capacity. I know you have the experience, but you kind of like lose the capacity to kind of address all the problems in the what's going on in the country. And as a young person, you kind of know how and where to do it. I think how and when you can do it, and you have a better like understanding of people. It's kind of when we are older, we kind of like like I think that when people are older, the thing is that they get old, and I feel like they should be taking such a leadership role when they're older. I feel like younger people should be given a chance because I think, and not too young, also like our age. I think like 50s would be ideal.
Yeah. Have you heard of Breaking Points? It's a like a YouTube news. I think center left and center right by Sager and Crystal. They're two amazing people. But Sager had a position in the White House, and then he left it to do Breaking Points. But his opinion on the Obama thing, he said Obama was great, but his opinion was that Obama didn't. The one thing that he, I guess, failed at or didn't do great at was picking his cabinet and picking the leaders right below him, which is a crucial part, Sager was saying, with the presidency. You need, one of the most important things is to pick your cabinet members and the people right directly below you. That was like Obama had great points here and there on certain topics, but it was just executing them that really had the problem. I don't know much more. That's just his opinion. It sounded like it made sense, but I don't know much more about it.
Yeah, I will take a look at that channel. Seems interesting. The thing is, I think that Trump, I don't know, like for some reason, democracy existed when he ruled. Like it was kind of like it started off kind of weirdly, and I think he's kind of inappropriate to be a leader because he has, not very negative personality traits.
Are you saying democracy was more pronounced in the sense that so many politicians probably were anti-Trump prior to his presidency, maybe? And then because enough social media pushed Trump into, I'm not sure if it was
the Russians
or social media pushing Trump into presidency shows that there is a democracy alive.
Yes.
Is that what you're?
Yeah. Yes.
What's your thoughts on that, Emmett?
Well, I mean, it illustrates that we have an outdated and dysfunctional electoral system. I mean, if anybody can explain the electoral system, they can't explain why we still have it. It's this silly system whereby the states get a certain amount of votes. And so all Trump really had to do was go win over a couple of racist states, and coal mining states, right? He had the brilliant masterstroke chess move of telling coal miners, I'm going to bring back your coal jobs.
So what's your solution to if you were to replace the electoral vote, just straight numbers votes? What would they call that? Where
you'd have to clean slate the whole system because there's so many broken parts. The electoral college doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's just tackle the electoral college for now. What would you just?
So one man, one vote, right?
Okay.
Oh, that's an outdated expression. One person, one vote, right? So does every vote matter?
Rashni doesn't get a vote in your system.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so I think so do you have to be in the country to take a vote? Sure, right?
Yes.
Do you have to pay taxes to get a vote?
Wait. Just for fun, you said you have to be in the country. Like, what if I'm a remote worker but still paying? Because if I'm a U.S. citizen and I'm working in Vietnam, I still have to pay U.S. taxes.
Yeah, and we have like embassy people overseas and military people overseas. So sure, there's, I'm not saying you shouldn't vote if you're not physically here.
Okay.
I'm saying if you're not paying taxes, I don't think you should vote. That's kind of like we all go to dinner, and you guys are paying for dinner, and I'm saying, hey, let's get the lobster. Let's order up. I like mac and cheese, right? Give me the truffles on the mac and cheese, and you guys got this, right? I mean, we're all at the table together, but who's paying? So, I think there should be some element of who's paying for the things we're voting for, and while you're voting, maybe you could have a list of 20 things. You say, what do I want my money to go towards more? Because you'd get a feel for what people like, right? So you could say, hey, I like education. I want more space program. Do I want more military? Do I want more universities? Do I want more social programs? Do I want more help for the mentally, the mental illness? And what do you want? If I'm gonna vote, why don't you do what I want instead of me voting in the better of these two dirty politicians, and then you go try to make all this money, and then I vote for the next dirty politician to make all that money. So it's all silly. We have gerrymandering, which is the redrawing of political lines so that you can count votes in a way that advantages you. So who draws the lines for the political blocks? The politicians draw the lines. Like, why? I'm going to draw the line so that I win the next election, right? I'm going to cut out this neighborhood because I know they like the other guy. Like, it's so silly that we just give names to all these things, like lobbying. Why is lobbying legal? Can you explain what lobbying is? Oh, it's giving money to politicians. Sounds like bribery to me. I mean,
yes.
So the whole system is rigged from the top to the bottom. You get two party choices, and both parties are dirty. So why would I pick either one? I mean, Americans are too dumb to vote for independent people.
I think every country has kind of a rigged system.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a thing once. I don't know if it's true or not. They said there was some small country like Mongolia or something. They, instead of elections, they just picked random people to run the country. They picked 20 random people, and they did a fantastic job because they weren't as bad as politicians. But I mean, it's so hard. How do you overthrow the political system, right? Because they currently have the power, so they currently have the money, and they currently have, in the end, the authority of the law, which controls the police and the military. So at the end of power is a gun. So how do you fix all that? I mean, how do you get the rich people to give up their power and their money? There's only one way.
Yeah.
Revolt. Revolution.
That's where it ends. In the meanwhile, it's a weird thing to be complaining about because I have the best life anybody could ever wish for, right? I'm rich. My problem is eating too much. My struggle is not eating too much, right? I struggle with this every day. This is how difficult my life is. I can go buy an 80-inch television.
Try setting a goal, like you want to eat this amount, and if you get hungry, you take small portions of food, and you kind of do this after 30 days, and it becomes a habit.
Yes, that sounds like good life coach advice. I would invite you to come to America And for $5, you can get an incredible, gigantic meal with a huge soda. You can just a liter of soda of sugared, carbonated, delicious with some salty fries.
Yeah. And the oil, you guys like recycle the oil.
Yeah, you don't want to waste it. Oil's expensive.
And then you fry it twice, not just once, too.
Refried.
Yeah.
Refried.
Yes.
I think the most healthiest way is when you're frying is to use coconut oil.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's better.
Does it taste good on French fries?
Yeah.
Sold. That was a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, it's more healthy, and which is better, saturated or unsaturated fats. It's unsaturated fats because they break down into good cholesterol.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
There you have it. Coconut oil, solution to all our problems.
Coconut oil, and you can't fix the government. You can't fix the U.S.
I mean, luckily the U.S. is entirely armed. Like, there's more guns than citizens here.
Yeah, it's like people have to want to change in order to improve themselves. It's like you can't help people. Like, I'm a coach. I can't help people that do not want to be helped. Like, I cannot help. Yeah, I cannot help my parents kind of deal with the trauma they faced back in their childhood because they still carry on those baggages from the past.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to be helped, even if I have like the best degrees in the entire world, my parents won't listen to me. So,
but yeah, like, you can't get somebody to stop smoking if they don't want to stop smoking.
Yeah, that's like telling my dad to stop smoking. He will always do.
You just have to set a goal that you want your dad to stop smoking.
Yeah.
Then you have to use some reverse psychology. Buy him as many of the worst cigarettes as you can find and gift that to him for all of his birthdays and Christmas and holidays and stuff. Just gift him the worst cigarettes you can find in as big a quantity as you can afford.
Then he will still buy new cigarettes, you know. You can't stop him unless he wants to stop it.
Gotcha. Right.
Did you notice in Romania, like, were people talking about their government much, or is it?
It's like they knew nothing about politics.
Oh.
So, like,
I was not expecting that.
They're busy dancing in a circle.
Because the thing is that like, mostly I was engaging with a lot of medical students. So the only thing they want to discuss is what they study.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that was kind of like boring because you're supposed to know, like, have this wide knowledge about everything, you know. And so for everybody who thinks that med students are all rounders, they are, but they forget most of everything they learn. Yeah.
Here, I would say here in the U.S., at least my personal experience, the college students that were around me, they're all very outspoken politically. So that's interesting to hear that in Romania they didn't really seem to want to talk about it.
Yeah, I was talking about my situation in like Sri Lanka and the US because the thing is that I've been intrigued by US ever since I studied history.
Yeah.
So I would talk about those two and the concerns, and even with taxi drivers, I would talk about it because I don't know, they felt like, okay, this is an interesting person to talk politics with. And back then it was like, I think there was this one time this taxi driver was asking about Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I don't know what the question was, but I was like, I really like a woman to be a president.
That's not a good reason to vote for somebody.
Yeah. Well, like, I feel like she's also smarter than like Trump, and she's like, yeah, I feel like she would be a better leader than Trump would. I know that there were a lot of conspiracy theories going around when like she came into the picture.
Yeah, some people would say she might be more evil.
Yeah. Which I think is ridiculous because I think that a lot of people say that because it's a female that's going to a greater, it's basically controlling the whole world, right?
I'm not against her being a female at all. I mean, if you wanted to put together a history of damning evidence of her political life, you could probably make a pretty good case that she and Bill have done some dirty shit. I'm not even into that shit, and it's just, At some point, it becomes an undeniable pile of evidence. I think part of the problem in Romania might be that it's an Eastern European country, and a lot of Eastern European countries were previously Soviet Union. So there might be built into the culture a little bit of hesitancy to talk politics because it could get you shot in the past.
Is it current? Did you see that there, in essence, if they talked about politics, that they feared a police officer nearby hearing them, or the government, or is there?
Yeah. I think it's because of the policy as well. Because it wasn't a democracy country, right? In the past, it was like more of a communist country in the past. So their rules are like so strict. Like I feel like women are shouting even there. It's like they were screaming even if you don't do like one small thing right. It's like they were used to like shouting and screaming, and here everybody's so nice and lazy. There it's like completely different. And if you flunk up at least one time, it's like they're going to shout at you, and it's solely based on fear and stuff like this.
Wait, what'd you get yelled at for in Romania?
No, it's like for not staying in the line because I did not understand when I first came to the immigration. I think I saw a poster and I couldn't translate it, right? So I went to one of the immigration officers and I asked them, what does this sign mean? And they blasted me and asked me to stay in the line.
Get back in line. That's terrible.
Yeah.
No customer service skills in the Romanian immigration office.
So I was like, oh my God, the way she blasted was like, she was like, I don't know, maybe she didn't like her job or something like this, I guess. She just screamed, like, because I didn't know what.
She wants you coming to her country. Taking all her doctor jobs.
Yeah, I think the younger generation are more understanding than the older generation because of the change in policies, I guess. Because most of them are used to the communism rule, and now it's like democratic country.
For talking about politics in public in France and Sri Lanka, what's your experience with those?
So I think that here, there's more strikes than usual ever since the pandemic came into place, because what Macron did was that he cut off pensions for the older people in the beginning of the pandemic, and they were going on strike, and it was one of the biggest strikes that we had over here. And
the old people that were on a pension got cut off and they went on strike?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mean protesting, like in the streets and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then now it's like doctors and most of the educated people are on the streets because they are protesting against mandated vaccines.
So medical professionals are against the vaccine.
Yeah, because the thing is that it has more adverse effects, because normally drugs or vaccines takes 10 to 15 years for the efficacy and effectiveness of the drug or the vaccine itself. And that's what we have studied as well. And this is the same kind of knowledge pharmaceutical people use as well. And even the thing is that, I don't know who released the vaccines this fast, but there are, I don't know if you have seen the data on the side effects that it has caused to some people.
Are we talking about a very tiny, minuscule percentage of side effect people?
Not a tiny, but there are also people, because when you take a look at the medical sector and what we have learned, it's like if the certain number of deaths and side effects exceed a particular number, you're supposed to take it off to the market. And it wasn't done during this pandemic, and therefore people are actually trying to speak out, and they're going. People of medical professions are going on strike because they can't actually tell the entire story,
Yeah, that's definitely a contentious subject here. In France, is it U.S. made vaccines that are available, or is it German vaccines?
Yeah,
or
we have Zypher, we have AstraZeneca, we have Moderna vaccines. So
we don't have AstraZeneca, right? Is that a German one?
No, I thought we had it here.
Do we?
It's
I thought it was
UK.
Pfizer,
It's from
Moderna,
UK.
and Johnson.
Oh yeah, that's in US, right?
Yeah. Those are the 3 flavors of U.S. vaccine. I kind of want all 3. I've got Pfizer. I want to get the other 2 so I can get extra buff.
Yeah, what I did was like, so I'm unvaccinated because I live in a like hill area, like on top of a hill, and I'm kind of isolated from the rest of the crowd. And I always wear my mask when I'm going to the supermarket. And it's kind of like I chose to not take part in the social circle because I think because what we have studied and what I've gone and debated with all the doctors I know here. So yeah, because there are 2 sides of the story, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You're generally staying away from people and crowds whenever possible. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I'm unvaccinated as well because of my personal reasons and what I've studied. I've chosen to not take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also taken the responsibility not to reduce the chance of spreading COVID to another person. So
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
How long do you foresee? Like right now, if you're staying more at home, are you just waiting until news where COVID kind of dies down and then you'll go back out to normal life, or what's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. When does your isolation end?
so the thing is that like I'm trying to get my business online so I can like be successful because during the pandemic I never got to actually kind of go on the online space. I never actually figured out the online space. Like I know how to deal with people like face to face. So yeah. So this is a kind of new thing for me where I go into a whole new world full of people I don't know, much like the podcasting.
Oh, you're using us for practice.
Yeah, I'm using it for practice. Yeah, but like
I feel so used.
I used to coach and
So one-nighter.
tutor people of various subjects within the university. So it's like people I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was really comfortable, and now I'm actually comfortable talking to people I never used to know before through podcasting. So
Yeah.
it was a challenge for me because I never speak this much actually. And now I found out that I can do that too. Okay.
If you can become a great orator, then you're on your way to becoming a politician.
Maybe.
If you can do something called a filibuster, that's a useful skill in the U.S.
Yeah, so in France, what I found out that is that like I was one of the best students. So like basically everybody in the whole university kind of knew me, from the program director, the dean, the librarian, most of the teachers. So they would recommend me to the students who wanted like extra help, and I would end up coaching them. And I tried to get a job here, but like I learned that it's not like the more older you are and the more experienced you are, you can get a job here. Here, like what I do is like I go to the interview and speak with the HR, right?
Yeah.
And it normally ends up to a 1 hour conversation, and the HR counsel loves having me and loves talking about different kinds of topics and what I do and stuff.
Yeah.
After looking at my kind of CV, and they told me like one of the companies I actually applied to was so I can write. It was like a magazine company, so I can write for the magazine, and they told me to write my book instead of sharing things like this because this is too good to be in our magazine, and it's yeah. And then they told me that you should have your own book, do something of your own. So
don't work here.
Yeah. It's like no, but I felt like the person who said this was saying it with good intentions, you know.
Yeah.
Like I think she was like, this should be something of your own, and like to not work for a company and write what's your experiences on these magazines.
Huh.
Yeah, because it's like really powerful stuff and it's kind of lifting people up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like it hits the brain. I have like a blog where I used to put some of my best pieces of
Mhm.
writing. It's called worldinnovated at .wordpress.com.
Mhm.
So there I used to put my best pieces, and I wrote one piece for this company so that they would accept me, and
Mhm.
they told me that this essay about mental health was too good to put in there because it
Oh.
was based on my experience,
Yeah.
and it was so metaphoric because I kind of described myself drowning in this ocean and swimming at a snail's pace, and they said that this
There are
extreme,
snails in the ocean, for the record.
yeah. So this it was kind of a metaphoric kind of essay, and then she told me that to make my own book, write my own book.
So, is this story not on your World Innovated WordPress site?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. So we can read it for free.
Yeah.
Can
You
we
can.
buy your book right now?
Yes, it's available in Barnes and Nobles and Amazon.
Ah, okay. So we go on Amazon. What's the name of your book? How do we find it?
I can give you the link, or you can search "Unveiling the Truth Behind Catherine's Destiny."
Okay, Unveiling the Truth Behind Catherine's Destiny is the book. So if any of
Yeah.
our podcast listeners, if you go buy Rashni's book, Liem does not get any of that money
Correct.
at all. No.
It's affordable. It's 9.99 euros here for Europeans, and it's like 11.70 approximately US dollars in America.
Spend $11 so that Rashni doesn't have to go to these interviews anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so I went to another company. It was to do with real estate because they had these, and they were manufacturing these sort of gadgets as locks with some innovative gadgets. So you don't have to like use keys, and you don't have to forget your card when you're entering your own apartment. It was kind of a barcode on your phone that you open the door. It was
Oh.
kind of stuff. So I went to an interview there again. Like out of all the interviewees, like the HR was most interested in me.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he said that I think I see you as a leader of your own company.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I didn't get hired, and I think that most of the things that like happen because it's for your own future, right?
Yeah.
For
I mean, those are all very encouraging things unless you have bills to pay, right?
yeah. But I kind of like I want to be financially independent because like my parents don't want me to, because they want to have that control, over their child.
Yeah. They still want you to be a doctor. You can go
Yeah,
back.
my mom kind of like misses the fact that I'm not studying medicine anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said that I want to be a life coach. I want to earn and then create my own company to restructure education.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. That's tough for a parent because you want your own personal doctor. Give me the pills.
I like the more holistic approach. Yeah.
Yeah. Coconut oil.
Yeah.
For being unvaccinated, what key data elements would you need for you to want to get vaccinated? Like, is it a certain efficacy? Efficacy.
Yes, it's like more data basically, more numbers basically to see whether it's okay, because the normal procedure that normal vaccines and drugs go through has not been went in the pandemic. So for me, I need like more data, and like different innovative companies are coming up with different innovative plans. Like so, my father and I help my father with the business as well. So what we have come up with is that because I said I chose not to be unvaccinated, like he kind of he asked me why, and then I told my reasons, and I kind of shared all the data like I was looking for during the pandemic. And I kind of convinced my entire family not to get it as a result. And depending on what I've studied as well, I've like told him about it. So I was like, and since tourism was a major sector affected by the pandemic, and since I have this like kind of multifaceted with business and medical college, I asked him like, why can't you bring back tourism for the unvaccinated as well? So
Well, it's dangerous.
no, it's like to protect them.
Oh, okay.
A different innovative method to protect them. And then what we found is there's a company, it's like bubble to bubble tourism. Like they protect people who are unvaccinated or spiritual people, Ayurvedic people who choose not to get the vaccine or the pills.
Yeah.
So to have safe tourism, safe move to different parts of the country. And what they're doing is they're encouraging people to wear masks and also giving safe spots located throughout the different areas of the world.
It's like having a non-smoking section for tourism. Well, non-COVID section.
Got it.
Yeah, that's hard for us to comprehend because I only think about the U.S. situation. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Here.
I can give you the name of the company that we partnered up with. It's called Restrata UK. You can see what the company does in more detail. There are like videos and stuff going on, how to protect people from the pandemic for tourism. Yeah.
The most intelligent thing I've heard about the COVID and vaccination in particular in the U.S. recently was a Sam Harris podcast. He does a podcast with Eric Topol. I looked it up because I didn't want to screw this up. It's called A Contagion of Bad Ideas. And it is an hour and a half podcast. He talks to one of our leading medical scientists, and they lay it out. And Eric Topol explains it all, that this is the most tested, the most efficacious, the most effective, the safest vaccine we've ever had in the history of humanity. And to him, it's baffling insanity that anybody in the U.S. at least would choose to go unvaccinated. So if anybody's interested,
which vaccine is he talking about?
The 3 that are available in the U.S. So if anybody wants to hear very smart dude explain it all very clearly, then I suggest that podcast. Sam Harris, Eric Topol, A Contagion of Bad Ideas. It is the most intelligent thing I've heard about the U.S. situation.
Yeah. And for me, because I have gone to the FDA and this is what cite and kind of revised what they have done with it, and I've gone and debated with a lot of doctors. Yeah, so there are 2 sides to the story, they tell me.
Yeah, but this guy is really smart. He's like a super doctor and researcher.
Yeah, I will check him out.
Yeah.
And the thing is that most of the people won't tell you half of the story. What they're telling is that they don't want you to know half of the story because they want to sell the product.
Yeah, so they address that too, that neither one of them has any interest in selling pharmaceuticals.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, neither one of them has anything to profit through it. I'm certainly not making any money on it. If I could get some vaccine money, I'd be on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's start the final questions section. First question, what great daily habits do you have?
So I try to wake up, sleep 8 hours, wake up in the morning, because when I wake up early in the morning, I feel like I have more hours in the day to do all the tasks I need to do for the day. I feel like I have more time. If I wake up too late, it's like too less of time. I wasted the majority of the day sleeping, hibernating. I feel like that is one of the most important habits, is to wake up in the morning. And what I do something very unusual that most people do not do is I kind of challenge myself by using my left hand. Okay, I would tell you why I do this, because I was born a left-hander, but my mom forced me to write in my right hand. Yeah, so I kind of do different things that not usually every person would do because they're a right-hander, right? So they open lids and do majority of the tasks with their right hand. But I use my left hand to open lids. to open lids from bottles, to kind of even to kind of take different like when I'm brushing my teeth, to kind of like get into different areas of my teeth, and it kind of stimulates your entire brain. It's like it's the right part of the body controls the left, like stimulates the left part of the brain, and the left side of the body stimulates the right side of the brain. So you're kind of like using most of your brain. So it's like challenging yourself to make your bed with your left hand.
Yeah, you can't be holistic if you're only using one side. That's half of the whole.
Yes, yeah. I was kind of like using both hands at the end of the day, so I can write with both hands. I just prefer my right hand when I'm writing. But like when I'm opening bottles, it's definitely left hand. When I'm using a hairdryer, left hand. Yeah.
Oh, but it only works if you switch it. If you're always left-handed with your hairdryer, then you'll learn left-handed hair drying.
Yeah. But like I use both hands. It's like left hand works for me best, you know.
Yeah.
The left hand. I have more strength with my left hand when I'm opening lids of bottles.
In the U.S., we call that a switch hitter. It's a baseball reference. She goes both ways.
All right, next question. What do you know or think of cryptocurrency?
Okay, so I don't know much, but I've been in conferences because I was in a business school, so I had to visit conferences in the Oceanographic Museum here. And one of the things I've come across is that there are so many things that you should do before you have cryptocurrency, because it's the most riskiest investment. It's something that is not attached to an institution or jurisdiction. It's you have to have a kind of emergency fund depending on how you work, where you work, and your salary rates. And I'm guessing that portfolio, all that finance things. But I would say that it's more riskier to me because I do not know when we will be using something like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. I don't know when, and I am also not so sure about the biosecurity. There could be bioterrorism in the future if Bitcoin was ever released.
Wait a minute. How does Bitcoin lead to bioterrorism?
It's like, it's like when there could be not bioterrorism, but cyber.
Okay.
The cyber.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, so why did I?
Oh,
okay. Sorry.
Got me worried.
Okay, sorry.
I don't want anthrax from my Bitcoin.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cyber terrorism.
Sorry.
I know. Yeah. I mean, there's
wrong
already
wrong word. Yeah, wrong word.
Yeah. There's also there's currently like ransom attacks where they'll hold people's computer networks hostage in exchange for cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But I don't think the cryptocurrency leads to the crime. The crime is using the digital money like cash.
And I have like also some questions about cryptocurrency, like when cryptocurrency is ever made legal, or like if it comes out to the world, will there be some sort of inflation occurring with the money we already have or the exchange that we already make? And considering that one Bitcoin is like 40,000 euros or so, which is so high, would there be inflation?
Well, we already have inflation.
Yeah.
In the U.S., we have inflation. In a lot of countries, anywhere where your money is worth less each year, you have inflation. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is already out in the world. There are people that use it. It's not mainstream yet. It's not widely used, but it's out there. Anybody can use it unless you're in China. China recently outlawed it. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So China doesn't like it.
Yeah, I'll save some of my answer for your podcast when I get to your podcast, and we'll do the cryptocurrency talk.
Crypto talk.
I'll get more.
Yeah, because I have a lot of questions for it.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Interrogate them.
All right, next question. What's the biggest problem for humans, and how do we fix it?
I think I already mentioned the answer to this. It's like access to education, because I feel like the majority of the situations that occur around the world, people do not know about it, like poverty, access to clean water, or what are different areas of the world facing. And I think that if more people actually have access to like cheaper education, they will actually know and they will actually find solutions to it. I mean, everybody has like a different role or purpose in this world, and they can have, once they know that this is their thing, I guess that they could help and collaborate with the world. And this will even stop racism in America
If
as
we were
well.
more educated?
Yeah, if you like, there was only one race in the entire world, which is the human race, and not a race based on like skin color, I think, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I'm all for educating the world and less racism.
What systematic way would you implement educating more people?
It's like taking advantage of the internet, you know. It's like that's what I intend to do with the company as well, that I want to make in the near future, is that everybody has, you know, some type of mobile device with a touch screen, right? And they just need access to the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once they have the access to the internet, they can probably learn everything for free.
Yeah.
But you just have to have everything you need to know in one place, right?
But how do we get them to learn instead of playing video games?
The thing is that make learning fun. So maybe implement learning in video games as well. That could be cool. That would
Yes.
be a good idea.
Awesome. Next question. What's your favorite food or dish?
I have tons. I love food, actually. So, yeah. So, like in Sri Lanka, my favorite dish is the lobster, where you get like cheese in it and lobster meat in it, and that's kind of my favorite dish.
The cheese is stuffed inside the lobster?
Yes, that's my favorite dish.
It's like Thanksgiving. Yes.
I really love seafood, like anything to do with like prawns, but I don't like oysters because I don't like to eat things raw. I like to eat them cooked, so sushi is a bad idea for me. I like paella and a lot of Malaysian food and tom, what is this soup? Tom yang, yeah, tom yum cook. Shark meat with shark meat.
Shark, holy cow! So we have a lot of Thai restaurants in Vegas. I don't think any of them are serving shark.
Yeah, shark seems off the menu here for some reason.
Yeah, is that a cultural thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. We need a shark farm.
I think.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. All right, last question. Shout out 2 friends that you think would make a great guest for this show.
I don't think I have any friends who do podcasting, but I have some guests who I can recommend, like Jim Ambuski, who he's a PhD holder, who like told me about the history of pandemics in my channel. So I would definitely recommend to him. And Bob Berry, because he has this kind of knowledge with one of the best companies, like the best companies, Apple, Google, and Facebook, and he kind of does he worked there.
Awesome.
Yeah, as an engineer.
What about that gal that took you to your first nightclub?
Yeah. She can talk about some things in Romania as well. Like you can learn so many things in Romania. I can recommend her to you if you would.
We can learn about Romanian politics.
Yeah, let's do that. So plug yourself just one more time. So there's your Amazon book, which is Unveiling the Truth of Catherine
Behind Catherine's Destiny.
Yep. And then your podcast, and then what website? Oh, the name of the podcast and the website.
Yeah, www.taoact.net.
Awesome. All right.
That's just this is just the preliminary stages of the website. trying to develop it because I'm doing everything alone right now. So
Oh,
yeah.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for spending 3 hours with you. Cheers, Rashni. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Pleasure meeting. Yes. Great chat.
All right. See ya, Rashni. Thank you so much.
No problem.
What does it say in France? Au revoir?
I don't know.
Au revoir.
Bonjour? Or is that the other way?
Bon appetit.
Bonsoir.